Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome back. We're on episode 29. Wow, we've made it pretty far. Take me down a rabbit hole. Um, Wait, hold on. Okay, first of all, Cam King, hold on. He said, "Oh no, worst time to catch her live. I'm going to have absolute trash service. I'm on the boat scouting a new area for deer season." You always have, I feel like you are living the best life. You sounds like it's so peaceful. Well, hopefully we can catch you while you're here. And of course you can add to the conversation. Nope, I am doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing well. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I can't see you, but glad to know that you're here. Yeah, so we can have these discussions. So you already know what some of the conversation is going to be about tonight. Um, I think the first topic I'm going to talk about is Tory Lanez. I don't even follow this guy's music, but I did get to see, when the whole him and Meg the Stallion thing went down. And I just think that it's really ironic. I saw the whole rant that his father was doing, which I did not know that his father was a man of God. And just watching his his outbursts, I want to say, and not in a derogatory way, but his rants that he's been doing before the news people are just so powerful. And he calls on the name of God and he says, you know what, y'all gonna reckon. Y'all gonna reckon with this. And now we're seeing new evidence has come out to say that Tory Lanez, in fact, did not shoot Meg the Stallion, which was his whole argument from the very beginning. And he actually has a whole, like, almost 20-minute video where he's running down all the discrepancies within her narrative. And, it all adds up. So the question ends up being, why? Why is there a fight for Tory Lanez's soul right now? In my opinion, I think that's what it is. There's a fight for Tory Lanez's soul. His dad obviously is not trying to let him go to the other side. He called upon the prayer warriors, is what I saw in one of the rants that he did. I mean, he called on the prayer warriors, and then here we are 4 years later, and all this is coming full circle. So I'm just wondering what it's all about. You said that man's mistake was showing other artists how to make money. And you know what? I think that you're hitting the nail right on the head, because the initial reason why people were suggesting that, they were after him was because he owns his masters. And then he was, artist from Canada. He's hopping on all these people's songs. And then all of a sudden, he's getting caught up. He said the issue is that he wasn't arrested for shooting her, apparently, but for possessing a firearm when he already can possess it. And see, that's the thing. There's so many different narratives coming off of this one incident. First he had a gun, then he didn't have a gun, then he shot her, then he didn't shoot her. It's just so much that's been going on. You really don't even know who to believe. And I think really what the breaker was this week was that Kelsey Harris's bodyguard came out to say that he overheard conversations in the car that Kelsey was having, and she admitted that she was the one that fired the shots at Meg. And so you've got this guy. So I just have so many questions about this, because what is the reason why they're all ganging up and coming after him? And I get you. I actually agree with you on he was showing artists how to make money front, because the record companies don't like that. No, they definitely don't like that. They don't like if you're not down with the get down, and they do not like that if you decide that you're going to make money without the big machine. You said you were arguing from the beginning that he didn't shoot Meg. See, and I kind of just kept my mouth shut and just watched it all play out. So I can't say that I had too many ideas about what was going on initially. I didn't take sides at all. But I don't know. We're just in a day and age where you can literally lie on people with no consequences. These people can be locked up. What? Tory is facing 10 years in prison. He could be locked up for 10 years. And listen, I don't mean to keep jumping around, but we just talked about this last week with the habeas corpus. And one of the things that his attorney said today or yesterday was that they were going to put a petition in for habeas corpus, which means that he is going to argue that he has been detained illegally. She never spent a day at the range if she's shooting people in the foot. You know, I just don't know. I just don't know. He said, I like Tory Lanez music. He's a hothead, but he is hilarious and entertaining. He created a whole popular radio show via Instagram during COVID. And see, again, I'm out of the loop on this. I didn't know anything about it until someone said, what do they call it? Pandemic radio or something like that. And that's where, you know, he was hooking up with Meg Thee Stallion and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I knew about the whole hothead thing, but everything else is pretty new. So, again, it's just looking like, and I don't mean to put this on Rock Nation because maybe it's not them, but I think it's just ironic how everybody but Rock Nation gets caught up. Everybody. And then you have Chris Brown come out. Oh, I don't know if y'all saw him post, but as soon as he posted Free Tory, 5 minutes later, that man had another charge on him. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know from what the reports are saying that they got this man who is spending a lifetime in jail, who is the guy that stabbed up Tory Lanez is in jail for, I want to say he killed her. He killed his 13-year-old girlfriend. So what they do is they find people that have no life to live, no hope. You don't have a chance of getting out of jail, so you don't mind, you know, doing this thing for us. It's, yeah. I don't really consume anything mainstream. I thought Tory died in the early 2000s with G-Unit albums. My goodness. I don't even think he's that old. I don't remember him being out in the 2000s. Listen, I think I can name you one Tory Lanez song and that's pushing it. I think I know how it goes and that's it. But apparently he's super talented. He said Tory would have live streams of him step by step making music. Oh, really? And also explaining how to make money from your own music. Oh, did not know that. Oh, yeah, he messed up. He absolutely messed up. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. And see, it sounds like it's something so minute to us. Like, yeah, heck yeah, help other people get on. But they don't like that. Chris Brown and Tory are victims of Jay-Z. Rihanna and Meg Thee Stallion are under Jay-Z. And people brought up that very fact as well. They brought up that exact fact as well. Yeah, it's sad. And I'm not saying that Chris Brown is not a hothead because apparently he'll take it there, but it just, you haven't brought the charge that he just got is from 2023 and you haven't heard anything about it until that man said Free Tory. And Tory Lanez is 32. Oh my goodness. You know what's also, I don't know if you guys saw the clip that I posted on Patreon, but he was speaking about how Meg was trying to catch him up on his birthday. And then that made my mind go back to the conversation that Diddy and Drake were having about the whole birthday thing and how they said it, pretty much murder by numbers. And I think it has to do with the birthdays. Because why would she choose his birthday? And then even Party, is that what they called him? Party, her ex-boyfriend. Even he said something about her trying to set him up on his birthday. So I don't know. Something ain't right. Nope, I think that's what got him. He was turning other artists onto the fact that because of technology today, you don't need a label. Yeah. It makes sense. Because everybody's saying that it had something to do with the music label. And I was trying to find the interview. I guess someone was saying that he had gone on a rant about Atlantic Records, but I couldn't find it. I don't know if it's buried within an interview or what. Free Tory Lanez, I hear you. And I'm not normally one to say, free nobody, especially because I don't know what's really going on behind the scenes, but it's just smelling like a setup. Rihanna picked up the whole bad girl image when she got signed. And I don't even know if she had a choice. I don't even know if she had a choice. Because you got Jay-Z saying, if you don't sign with me, either you leave out the door or you leave out the window. And then she comes out with an album called Good Girl Gone Bad. It's like, okay. Yeah, he seems to be turning a lot of people out. But as you see, he has slipped under the radar just like I thought he would. And even though that 13-year-old that has brought the lawsuits against Jay-Z, even though she hasn't dropped anything, I really doubt that we're going to hear too much more about it. Wait, what? Chris Brown reminds me of a slightly more gayer Michael Jackson. First of all, that sounds loaded. Or Michael Jackson's gay. I have questions, but yeah, I definitely have questions. Listen, I don't know. I'm not going to touch that. Same thing happens to Glorilla. She was just a regular street rap girl that turned into a sex icon. Yeah. And it's really weird. It's not a good look on her. You can tell she's a tomboy. You can tell she's a tomboy. And now every time I see her, she's in her drawers with a bra top. I'm like, okay. But no, that's how it happens, right? Because they make them believe that they can't do anything else. Tory showed how to make money with your own NFT. He made his album into an NFT, so whoever had the NFT had a whole exclusive album that they could resell. Only those who had an NFT could listen to the album. Oh my goodness. So do you think that they're going to free him? Do you think that we're going to see this man get pardoned? And are we going to see Meg Thee Stallion face consequences for lying? I don't know. And you know who own a lot of the labels? Jewish people got a habit of offing people who expose them. Yeah. They absolutely do. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing, it's nothing for them to find a man again in prison who has nothing to live for because he ain't getting out. And hey, how about you off this musical artist for us? There's no problem in doing that. Yep. Now, I don't know what they would gain from having Tory offed other than to cover up whatever they have going on behind the scenes. Because if he owns his masters, you're not really going to get too much off of him. So I really just don't see the point. Yeah, I really just don't see the point. But I'm going to be praying for him for real. because something is not clean in the buttermilk. And if this man is innocent, then there definitely needs to be justice for him. Yeah, that's crazy. Beyonce and Jay-Z are S-tier sorcerers. I don't know how people don't see it. I don't know how they don't see it either, but again, I think a lot of people, one, don't know what sorcery is, and they think when you say witchcraft, they think it's fun and games. They think it's something that you just make up to say, but they don't understand that people really believe in this stuff and they really dibble and dabble. Yeah. And as you can see, it's almost like a sleight of hand. I guess what I'm thinking about is this whole Kanye coming out and saying that Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids were retarded. Now, I don't know whether they are or not. I'm not going to go there on that aspect, but did you see how now who's on stage with Beyonce now? Besides Blue Ivy, now Rumi's up there. Now the daughter is up there. And so everything that I just feel like they have a good way of dodging what's being said about them. You know, they have a good way of covering it all up. And then nobody remembers. Like, nobody's going to remember what Kanye said. And not that they should, right? Because you're talking about kids or whatever. And it really doesn't matter if they're special ed or not. I'm just speaking about the sorcery aspect. People who are good magicians are also, they're good with sleight of hand. They're able to pull wool over your eyes, make you see something that you didn't see. Or if you did see it, they can make you and everybody else believe that you didn't see it. But I don't know. I don't know how people don't see it though. I don't know. So hypothetically, if I bought this NFT for $20, I can resell it for $40 and get $20 profit for myself and an exclusive listening experience. I mean, that's what it sounds like. And then all that profit comes to you. Yep. Can't have that. Tory is a huge threat, R&B wise and rap wise. He was getting too big, and no male R&B artist except for like Chris Brown can compete with him. And see, and I'm not trying to downplay him. I didn't see him as that. So I didn't know that he's as big as what he is. But I don't know. But I feel like the issue had to have been him telling people about it, because there's a lot of artists that own their masters. But like you said, maybe it was because he was telling people how to do it themselves. So, wow, I haven't heard that. Yeah, I haven't heard that either. But it makes sense. And you can pretty much start your own distribution company that way. So, Tory Lanez made hundreds of thousands, if not a million, within like 20 minutes after live streaming his album release. Look up his celebration. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Oh, wow, that's amazing. This is what the love of money. This is the love of money being the root of all evil. Because there's no reason why that man can't have his own lane and the music companies have their own lane and whatever. There's no reason. It's mm, yeah, it's no reason. And I think that they're taking this as an opportunity to take Chris Brown down as well, because look how much he's making. Look how much he's making off of his concerts. And they're trying to, what's going on right now is they're trying to make it seem as though Beyonce is just selling out her shows. But then when you look, when people are actually posting the concerts and the ticket price numbers, they're like, she ain't selling nothing. Her concerts are empty. And then you have people like, they're like, oh, well, ain't nobody buying concert tickets right now. They're trying to make it seem as though no one's buying. I'm like, Chris Brown's selling out. Mariah's still selling out. Usher's still selling out. All these people still selling their concerts. So don't try to make it seem as though it's the economy and that's why people ain't fooling with Beyonce. People are not fooling with Beyonce right now because they see the ties. They see her and Jay-Z's ties. And they're no longer believing that wholesome image that she has upheld for all these years. That's what's going on. And they're noticing the witchcraft. And some ain't right. Correction, he sold 1 million copies of his NFT of his album, went platinum because of it. That's crazy. Yeah, he definitely can't do that. Low key, that's why I stopped consuming any mainstream music. I see more occult symbolism today in music and music videos than anything else. And most people are asleep to it. They're all high occultists. Yeah, I can't tell you when the last time I've watched. First of all, do they even still make music videos? I don't have cable, so I don't watch music videos like that anymore. But I mean, yeah, that's really all it is. That's really all it is. You said I was watching the Minecraft movie over my girl house with her and Jack Black kept doing occult symbols. I don't think that Jack Black hides his devil worship though. I mean, I can think about early 2000s MTV awards where Jack Black is thanking Satan and making songs to Satan and all kinds of stuff. And people don't bat an eye at it because it's Jack Black and he's funny. But I feel like he's been high level. I don't know if he's, if he's an occultist himself, but he's definitely into that devil worship. He said, don't get me wrong, Tory Lanez needs God and is sinful and lustful, but he seems to not be into that demonic stuff and actually earned his success, which makes this more sad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like he's not trying to be in trouble. He was even like, man, I don't even put my hands on women. I don't even do that type of stuff. So for me to be shooting at women is not me. Yeah. It's really sad. It is really sad. And that's why I say that there's a fight over Tory Lanez soul. The Lord is pulling him one way. His daddy got the prayer intercessors praying for him. And then you got the demonic music industry on the other side trying to get him to go that way. It was insane how many devil horns and 666 symbols him and the other actors kept doing. I'm not surprised. But I feel like at this point, if you don't see it, you really just don't want to see it. It blows my mind. People can even hear someone say praise Satan and then laugh it off like its omission means nothing. I mean, a lot of Satanists are under the impression that they don't actually worship Satan. For some strange reason, they do not believe that they're actually worshiping an entity. And even the founder of the Church of Satan said, no, that's not true. We actually worship a real entity. So people believe what they want to believe. They really do. I think it's because they're under a spell. It has to be. And again, that's what witchcraft does. It blinds you to what you're really supposed to be seeing. Yeah, it's crazy. Only time I've heard him losing his cool was in regards to him and other men. This women hater allegations sound wild. Yeah, that too, but that's the culture that we're in right now, where it's believe all women, and if you do not believe all women, then you hate women. Or if you don't let women do everything that they want to do to you, then you hate women. It's a really weird time. And I'm sorry, women are doing some egregious things right now. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm just shaking my head right now because day after day, they come online and tell about the foolishness that they're into. Makes sense that or many denied the spiritual warfare being waged daily. Yeah, because people do not even believe in the spirit. They do not believe in the spirit realm. They don't believe in spiritual things. Again, they think that God and the devil are a joke. It's really weird. Some Satanists literally say Satan doesn't exist. I'm like, it's in the name. Exactly. Who do you think it is that you're worshiping? You think they just made up this name? Miss Natasha says, right. It baffles me, but again, people are in denial. Y'all heard about the DDG allegations from Haley? I believe it's fake, or Haley Bailey. And that was actually going to be one of my questions to you all as well. What do y'all think about that? I've heard different sides of the aisle. I've heard some people say that DDG really is toxic and this and that. I haven't seen it personally. I just haven't seen where he's this big bad guy. I don't know. But I have seen videos of Miss Haley, or Hallie, however she says her name, speaking about how toxic she is. How she's jealous and she'll do this and that behind a man. I've seen her admit to those type of things. And even people said that she was putting her hands on him. So yeah, to be honest, Miss Natasha, I think some kind of way this is also playing into Rock Nation, because somebody was like, have y'all noticed how all of Rock Nation's, or even Beyonce's artists are all something's always happening to them? Either it's domestic wise or something disparaging to their womanhood. Something is always happening to their artist. No, you said anyone can get a restraining order. And see, I wasn't sure about that, because a lot of people were saying that they only grant a restraining order when they have evidence. So I wasn't sure if that was true or not. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, she can't have a bad image being a Disney princess. No, but she didn't she do that when she had a baby out of wedlock? I mean, no shade, but you know, you have to shed that wholesome image at that point. But I'm noticing that theme coming up again and again as well, because they even said that about Meg Thee Stallion. At first, Meg Thee Stallion was up on this pedestal, and then when everybody found out that she was getting ran through, and then it was all on the news, then she had to somehow cover it up, and then that's when Tory became the fall guy. So I think the same thing is happening with Hallie. I think the same thing is happening with Halle because she can't even, like, if that man DDG, if he has that child on the stream, all hell breaks loose. And they're up in his comments about how he's, being a clout chaser and this and this and that. But she can have that same child on her streams and on her internet. So I don't know, y'all. It just seems like, I don't know. You said Halle, I believe, is upset he didn't make her a wife. I mean, what happened with that whole thing anyway? I I know there were rumors about cheating, but I can't tell who was cheating. Sometimes they say DDG was cheating, then they say Halle was the one that's cheating. Who was cheating? And again, why you didn't have that man make you his wife before you had his child? I mean, I don't know if that is the case. She brought that on herself. And that's no reason to bring allegations against this man in this way. It's so sad. Yeah, I don't know about this, but I think this doing DDG like they did Tory and like they did Chris Brown, Beyonce, and Jay-Z are the common denominator. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking a little fishy. It's looking a little fishy. But you're right. All the men that are surrounding them are going down. Yeah, it's sad to see. Of course, she has to make her partner look bad before herself. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, isn't it some kind of weird isn't it like a month or two that he can't see the son, and DDG can't even speak on his son or nothing? That's sad. Why wouldn't he be allowed to speak on his son? It's just weird. She exposed him after the internet was talking about her mom. Oh, her mom bod. Oh. Um, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, he wasn't talking about her mom bod, was she? Was he? I know people in the comments were, for sure. She cheated first. Yeah, I'm hearing something about her and Brent Bias. So these kids, I don't know. I heard it's been over 20 plus domestic abuse allegations in the last decade against men in Hollywood, and they all eventually get dropped. That's a lot. That's a lot. Thankfully, a lot of these incidents are on camera, and we're able to see that a lot of these guys are running away from the situation and not running to the situation. Um, I just think that women know how to bring men down, especially when they can say it's domestic violence, or they know what to say to get a man locked up, to get his kids taken away, to get his money taken away. And because the courts don't have any repercussions for the women, they keep on doing it. She got full custody of the kid too, right after the restraining order, and he can't speak on any of it. Boys need their fathers. I don't know why women have this notion that they can raise men up to be men. I don't know. But when I see DDG with Halo, I mean, he speaks to him like a young man. He is teaching him things. He just encouraging him, and I don't know. I feel like he does a good job. Again, I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but when he's with that boy on camera, I'm like, okay, Halo's gonna be a strong little man. She cheated with her co-star. My goodness. My goodness, my goodness. I don't know what to say. Just to destroy their image like Johnny Depp. Listen, I am not one to advocate for Johnny Depp because I've heard about the shenanigans that he's into behind the scenes. But yeah, that lady came off as real crazy. And Duda went in the bed? Heck no. Who does that? They have a lady locked up right now. I think she got upset at her neighbor and booed on her neighbor's car hood or some nasty mess like that. Who does that? Who even thinks about some nasty joke like that? As a woman, heck no. Like, we haven't heard from Johnny Depp being a victim and his career getting destroyed even after he wasn't guilty. Yeah. I mean, because it's believe all women. It's believe all women. The Meg the Stallion situation is so wild. I believe so as well. And honestly, it just seems like she's a pawn and they're using her to take out certain men around her in the industry. Yeah. Mm. The numbers of false allegations made in family court are shocking. Some say it's as high as 1/3 of the investigated claims turn out to be false. That's scary. That's scary because, again, if you cannot prove your case, or maybe you don't have a good lawyer, or maybe you don't have the money to fight it, you could be stuck in jail. You can be stuck. I actually heard a judge talking today. I don't know if it was a judge, but they were speaking about pretty much the catch-22 that men get into, especially if they're in paternity disputes. How if they don't pay their child support, then they can, get their license taken away, and then they can't go to work. And then how can you even pay for the child support if you can't get to work because you don't have a job anymore? So it's just a catch-22 for the men. But I wouldn't believe that the number is as high as it is if I didn't watch as much paternity court as I've watched. And obviously paternity court and DV are totally different sides of the spectrum. But as many women as I've seen lie and say that they knew who the father of the child was, and then come to find out he wasn't nowhere near the daddy. So now I don't put it past none of them. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm not saying that I don't believe any women are being abused. I'm not saying that at all. And if they are, my heart goes out to them. But y'all hoes be lying. I'm sorry for the language. Y'all hoes be lying. It's sad because DDG always wanted a son. And yeah, it is sad. And like I said, he does really, really good with them from what is being shown. So I don't know. I hope they can reconcile it. But I kid you not, I never liked DDG, but what they are doing to him is not cool. I didn't know him before he got with Hallie, so I can't say I didn't like him. You said it. I have dogs that don't shat the house. Exactly. Exactly. So for you to be a grown woman doing that's nasty, nasty. Meg is definitely a pawn. She is. And I think she thinks it's like women empowerment and all that stuff, but no, she's definitely being played. And you know what happens after they get done playing you? I thought she was a male for the longest time. I never thought she was a male. I mean, yeah, I know a stallion is a male horse, but I guess I've grown up always hearing them call thick women or whatever stallions, or women calling themselves stallions. So I don't know. I didn't think she was a male though. Tory was exposing the industry during 2020. Oh, was he really? See, I wish I would have listened to. I mean, I didn't know that I needed to listen to him, but I wish I would have listened to more of what he had to say. I believe Tory Lanez's father. Me too. Me too. Because he looked like he is not playing around. And he names names. And he ain't scared to say it. My brother-in-law is a divorce attorney. He nagged me for years to come and sit in court for a day. When I finally did, I was absolutely shocked to see how men were treated. And no, it's really sad. And even when I'm watching the court shows and stuff on YouTube, the judge talks to the husband all crazy. He always has to pay the court fees. They always ask him about his income. They never ask about the woman's income. It's just some weird stuff going on. But I think it all plays into them trying to pedestalize women. Very subtly, but everything that they're doing is to put the woman on top of the men. Exactly. The world got something against masculinity. Exactly. Because again, they cannot pull off their agenda if they have strong men standing around who will fight for what's right. They absolutely cannot do it. So they have to weaken the society in such a way where, again, they put the women on top of the men. They beat all the men down. You got money, we're going to beat you down. Make sure you don't have any money. All of this is happening for a reason. Yeah, it's really weird. But what's crazy is I'm just remembering the scripture that says that the Antichrist is not going to have a desire for women. So for the women who are actually playing into this agenda, it's not going to come out good for you either. And I know I'm not talking to the people on this live right? But the women who are out here being vindictive and doing all this BS, it's not going to play out right for you either, because the Antichrist is not going to like you. So while you're being a pawn in the game, you're just going to end up shooting yourself in the foot in the end. Meg exposed herself to be a true snake. She is. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of these female rappers for sure are showing their hands. Patrick Ryan said, "You say domestic violence, I say training my wife." I don't know what to say about that. I don't know who Patrick Ryan is either, but no. I didn't like DDG. I thought he was corny, but this case being built on him makes me really upset. I didn't care for Hallie because she gave spoiled brat. Yeah, and this is what I don't like, and I see it under every picture, and I know other women have spoken about it, but every time DDG is in a picture with his son, the women in the comments are, "Oh, I know he can't stand his daddy. Oh, he can't, he always," it's always that. But then if Halo is in a picture with Hallie, then they're dogging DDG. Oh, he's always happy when he's with his mom, never when he's with his dad. And it's just I don't know. I don't know. I guess he was warned too. I'll just say that he was warned. Women shouldn't even support Meg, because how you finna make horror music but start crying when everyone find out you getting ran through? Exactly. And what's crazy is that's the same thing I said about Glorilla. And to be honest, my husband got upset at me because thought I was making fun of her. I'm like, I'm not making fun of her, but you make all this music about how you're pimping all these men and doing this, that to these men. And, but then when you get done in, then you want to cry. I thought you was a player. I thought you was a pimp. What you crying about? Yeah, and then got on TV and lied, saying she wasn't sleeping with that man. People crazy. Tory had the top lives during the pandemic. Yeah, it just sounds like from what y'all are saying, he messed up. He messed up trying to put people on game. He said Bigfoot. Yeah, he was coming with the facts. The interview I saw, it wasn't an interview. He was doing a live, but he was just speaking of himself. He was even speaking about the tendons and stuff that are in the foot, and how there's no way that you can get shot in the foot and not hit a tendon. I was like, you know what? He's actually speaking some real facts. The whole feminism movement is to destroy and degrade women, but a majority of women think it's liberating for them to be half naked and be equal to men. That too. You know what? You just said a whole mouthful right there. I heard a woman say this week that that men were trying to put them down because they didn't want them being half naked in the gym. She said that you were trying to infringe on the rights of women to be hoes and to be butt naked when they go outside. I'm like, are we really making this argument? And also what's funny is that a lot of these, I have a lot of issues. I have a lot of issues with the feminist movement. I have a lot of issues with what the names that they call women. And then they try to downplay it and make it seem as though it's the men that are being misogynistic towards the women, but it's actually the women being misogynistic towards other women. Y'all are the ones that are saying, when you're trying to, I guess, include trans into womanhood, you're the ones that are saying that other women are not women because their uterus is not working or they haven't been able to have babies and stuff. It's not the men saying that. It's other women saying that to other women in order to include the men who believe that they're women. It's a weird movement. It's a weird movement. And they think that they love women, but I feel like y'all are the ones that not y'all, but the feminist. I feel like y'all are the ones that actually hate women, but you're trying to make it seem like it's men. And they are half naked. And they're trying to make it. Man, my husband said that he was at the gym. He said a lady was walking around, had a white t-shirt on, no bra. He said all he could see was areolas, and then she didn't have no drawers on. And on top of that, he said he didn't see her work out at not one machine. She was just walking around the whole time. So not only are they walking around butt naked or half naked in male dominated spaces, but they're also trying to get the men caught up with this stuff too. Because they're going to the gyms on purpose to record the men looking at them with their areolas out and then trying to report them for being pervs. I don't like women, but I'm gonna look too if you got your areolas out. I'm gonna look like, what is she doing? What is she? I see y'all at the mall at the HEB. I'm looking too. I'm not looking because I'm enticed. I'm looking because what the heck are you doing? I even saw an 80-year-old. Well, she looked like she was 80. She even had her chicks out at the grocery store. They were coming from underneath her shorts. And I was like, this is somebody's grandmother. I'm just sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I always try to remember there's two sides to one story, and people will always tell theirs in the most flattering way for themselves. Yep, sure will. Sure will, especially if it is to downplay that you were being a hoe. They always gonna do that. Well, let's be honest. Exactly, the Black community hates men, fathers, and patriarchal figures. It's not, man. I can't even disagree with you. I can't even disagree with you. Obviously, they are loved, right? But there's a lot of hate, and the ones that hate them are the loudest. I saw a clip the other day. The lady was saying that if a man is a good father, he's a red flag. She said, because you want to spend time with your kids and this and that. She pretty much wanted it to be all about her, but she knew if he had kids, then he would have to tend to his kids at some point, and she wasn't having it. So he was a red flag. But you're right. And that's all I hear. And if I hear the patriarchy one more time, not from y'all, because we're having a conversation, but I'm so sick of everything being blamed on the patriarchy. I'm so sick of it. They're trying to break the family structure. They don't want the masses together. Absolutely not. And people do not. And we talked about that last week. We talked about this last week. And people don't understand when the family structure breaks down, so does the rest of society. And they know this. They know this. They know that the Rainbow Coalition, the agenda never would have been pushed this hard and made it this far if the family structure was intact. They know that there wouldn't be this many babies out of wedlock. They know that it wouldn't be this many abortions. They know a lot of stuff. But when you look at the mission statement of BLM, what was their mission statement? To destroy the nuclear family. When you look at the agenda from the Rainbow Group, what are they saying their mission statement is? To destroy the nuclear family. Everybody's saying the same thing. Well, not everybody. Obviously, God's people are not saying that, but heck yeah. You should anybody who speaks down against the family structure, you should give them the side eye. Because what is it that you're wanting besides that? And people keep protecting Meg. Because she's a woman. And that's really all that it is to it. Because she's a woman. And they know that women most of the time are the ones being taken advantage of. Yeah, and you're looked at as a bad person if you don't believe women right off the bat. Women took an L with that booty hole song. Folks were chanting. I'm sorry. I don't know why that was so funny. Probably because that's exactly what it was. You're right, though. They were chanting it. They put it to gospel music. They did all kinds of stuff. They had the kids in the classroom talking about it. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're right. I don't know. Who got on TV and lied they wasn't sleeping with someone? Meg the Stallion. Who interviewed her? Was that Gayle King, I want to say, that was interviewing her? And she had to ask that lady twice if she had ever had any sexual relations with Tory. And she said no. She straight up said no. She said that they were just friends. Craziness. Yeah, I never understood how it's empowering to get blasted in by some rando under a random ceiling fan. I don't know, but they've made it cool. Cause see, back in the day, everybody knew what a hoe was. There wasn't this conversation about, body counts and who wasn't a hoe, and everybody knew what it was. And you either steered clear of it because you didn't want that image on you, or you ran to it because you didn't care. And now have y'all seen what the heck is happening in places like Houston? And I think they even said even Philadelphia has now blown up. They said the HIV rate is so high. I want to say the number is like one in, I want to say the fraction came out to like 1 out of 3 women has HIV in these cities. Because now they've made it so cool to sleep around, and in my body, my choice, and I can do what I want, and I can raw dog Tom, Dick, and Harry, and there shouldn't be any consequences because I said so. Now they want everybody to take PrEP. They're like, yeah, you might as well just take PrEP. Like, what? You think that these medicines are going to keep you from these diseases? Is that what you really think? Is that what you really believe? Hell, these condoms don't even keep these STDs, or I guess they call them STIs more so now. They don't even keep that type of stuff away. So you think that it's going to keep a whole virus off of you? That's a shame. It's a shame because back in the day we knew you know. But hey, different strokes for different folks. Literally, pretty much. But they've been stroking way too much. They've been stroking different folks way too much. Yeah. A large part of the founders of feminism were deep in the occult. That's a history not taught about feminism. Many of its founders were professed witches or gypsies. But they never find out where it is that their beliefs come from. It just sounds good and they just start following it along. It's advertising, yeah. Yeah. I literally had to walk away from helping a customer because she had on booty shorts and kept adjusting herself in front of me and kept being in compromising positions. Like, I'm uncomfortable, ma'am. Exactly. And then if you look on accident or even on purpose, she gonna be trying to put the camera on you to call you out. It's craziness. I see way too much booty in the pants. Way too much. And it was one thing, when I was a dancer and stuff like that, you have to get changed. So you see breast, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, but that's what happens when you're in a changing room around people. But if I'm in a random place, like I said, at the grocery store, at the gas station, I don't want to see your cheeks. And they're mad that they're mad now that men are saying they don't even want to see their cheeks. Like, you are making people uncomfortable. And not every man. Since marriage constitutes slavery for women, I know, right? It is clear that a women's movement must concentrate on attacking the institution. Freedom for women cannot be won without the abolition of marriage. Oh my, oh my. I mean, I have to agree. I'm seeing way too many of them say that married women are just prostitutes. Yeah, they've called us prostitutes too. Yeah, it's crazy. It really makes me wonder how many women, like in ancient times, were of this mindset where they hated womanhood, they hated motherhood, they hate manhood. Like, were these same women around back in ancient times, and what did they do with them? He said Sheila Cronin. Oh, okay, that's a quote from Sheila Cronin. I mean, it makes sense. I don't see no lies. I feel for DDG because public favor will destroy you. I don't think that he has enough men advocating for him. There's so many women that hate him. Oh, they hate him. Every time his mug is posted, they make sure they get into the comments and say the most mean and hateful things about him as possible. So yeah, you're right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he'll recover. The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood founder. Did she really say that? Wow. They don't see nothing wrong with it. They know love is what will break the matrix. Ooh wee, that's powerful. That's real powerful. Yeah, they do. Man, that's a mouthful right there. I don't really know what to say. The spirits behind feminism and Planned Parenthood is definitely demonic. Yep. And I get it. It's under the guise of equality, but there's never going to be equality between the two sexes. We're not supposed to be equals. Multiple sources now admit somewhere between 50 to 60 million illegals are now here in the country. There's only two races that have been here from the jump. If you don't come together soon, it's over. Wow. Really? I don't know. I guess the only thing I can think of is them trying to make the Goyim and non-Goyim. So remember the article I did, the video I did, and they were admitting that they want the illegals to come over here so that we can all mix and mingle and procreate together. Because remember, they're not doing that in their family. Their family tree is all of them. They marrying their first cousins, they daddy cut, they doing all of that over there. And so they want us to mix and procreate together over here so that there literally is two distinct groups of people, us and them. Yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't have come together a long time ago, but not too many people are paying attention. Megan is an adult who makes poor decisions when she's drunk. If that was my niece, I'll have some words for her out of love. She thinks she's untouchable because of her connections. Yeah. Yeah. Her connections, and she thinks her beauty is going to take her everywhere that she needs to go. Listen, ladies, beauty fades and we do lose value, unfortunately. Not as people, but marketplace, dating, marriage standards. Yeah. And she think, yeah, she's not gonna. Ain't nobody gonna wipe him up, Meg. Just like, look, just like Cardi B thinks she gonna get wiped up. She ain't getting wiped up. She's a toy. They're having fun with her. She thinks Stephon Diggs is really in love with her, and I feel bad for her. I can't even walk in the gym without there being at least two women wearing short shorts with their shirt tucked in the back. Uh, you know, listen, I get it. But at the same time, you can't walk around like that and then think that no one's going to say anything to you or have a thought about you or that you're not going to attract the wrong crowd. And you can, man, you can. Yes, men need to keep their hands to themselves. Absolutely. But you're naive if you think that you're going to tell someone with a criminal mindset not to touch women, not to assault women, not to disrespect. You're naive if you think that that's going to happen. If you think that we can make the whole world act right so that you can walk around naked, you lost your mind. You said, ain't Tony Braxton say she takes STD preps or something like that? Tamar did. Her sister Tamar did. Um, I mean, but that's what happens, right? That's the problem. We stop shaming people, bring back large scale social shame. It's highly effective. Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was effective back in the day because you did not want to be shamed. You did not want that stigma on you. You didn't want to be seen being pregnant out of wedlock. You didn't want to be seen, getting ran through. You just didn't want to be seen in that light. You said my body, my choice leads to herpes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I just read a few days ago how this girl was telling a story how her first time having sex, she caught herpes. That's scary. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Cause man, oh man. I mean, you got to teach the ones that you can. I guess that's really all we can do. Tell it, and the ones that will listen will hear. When they were giving out free abortions at the DNC and had Meg twerking on stage, I knew these are the last days because what the hell exactly? And people still don't understand why Kamala didn't win. People still don't understand because we're sick of that. We're sick of that type of stuff. Which doesn't make sense because marriage is the self-sacrifice for both wife and husband. Anything outside of that is prostitution. I don't know why that it is either. I think because they have a false notion that men are not supposed to be. I'm going to use the word submissive, but I don't mean in the sense that women are. But they feel like they don't think that men are supposed to be submissive to their wives as well. They don't know that it's a mutual respect and submission in a marriage. They think it's just the woman doing it all for whatever reason. It's crazy. What's more so crazy is the women that don't, or I don't say even women, the people that don't want to get married are the loudest ones speaking out about marriage. Just like, you ain't never been married, you don't even want to get married, so why is it always on your mind? Feminism disgusts me. I think the absolute most amazing thing a woman can do is bear children, and they speak of mothers like second-class citizens who choose less value path by being a mother. Oh, I know it. Oh, I know. And disgusting is definitely what that is, especially because there are women that struggle with fertility, and then you've got these mofos who have no problem getting pregnant but kill all the babies that they ever get pregnant with, and then you have and they're just talking down on people who haven't become mothers yet, and you just see the ungratefulness. It is disgusting. Shoot. Sometimes I'll be having conversations like, Lord, you've been giving these women all these babies they've killed, and you got women that really want children and can't have them. Mm-mm. There are big male content creators who defended DDG immediately and put their own careers on the line, and they got hate real quick. Yeah. Because there are people that have been around them or been around him, know him personally, know the type of person he is. I mean, I don't know. You can't cancel everybody. Planned Parenthood's headquarters building exhibits some nasty occult symbolism. I don't know if I know. I don't know if I know their building, but isn't one of their emblems one of the pedophile symbols? The triangle within the triangle. I mean, I'm not surprised. Sorry, I'm gonna look up this building, Parenthood building. Yeah, I didn't know that. There's no such thing as equality between the sexes. Femininity is a predecessor dependent derivative that occurs and is dependent on masculinity existing before. Yeah. But somewhere the narrative got pushed, and here we are. Oh no, their symbol is not the triangle within a triangle. Mm. If you can keep a people divided, you can make sure they never accomplish anything together. Yep. Yep. And that's what they're gonna do. Speaking of, I'm glad that you brought that up, because speaking of people being divided and all that kind of stuff, what are y'all's thoughts about the new pope? As soon as he got into his position, people started noting that he was from Chicago, and then they're trying to note that he has some type of, I guess, black in him or something like that. And so people that I guess probably would never have even thought about the Pope are now like, yeah, the Pope. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that's also part of the agenda? It says the new US born Pope has Black Creole and Haitian grandparents from New Orleans, but says he doesn't identify as Black according to the New York Times. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just feel like they're going to try to use it in some kind of way to push agendas like they did with Kamala. Yeah, foolishness. If Oprah is a billionaire and still single, that should show women that men don't care about money. Isn't she a lesbian? I have a lot to say. Nobody has ever checked for Oprah. As long as I've been on this earth and seen Oprah, she had her Oprah show and she's done all these things. She's done movies and this and that. I've never heard not one person say they were checking for Oprah. Like, people like her because she has money, but they know she ain't no good. They know she is no good, and most people feel she needs to be locked up right there beside Diddy. When Beyonce got cheated on, the rest of the women should have took notice. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why. That ain't right though. Can we pray for Cassie's husband? He got her pregnant and now he had to witness hearing her drinking pee. Oh my goodness. Rubbing nasty stuff on Diddy and having to be with multiple men for multiple days straight. Okay, so here's my question. Do you think that Cassie's husband didn't know what she had been through? Maybe not to the extent, maybe not having every single last detail, but from my understanding, he was Diddy's trainer and then ended up being Cassie's trainer. So he was there the whole time during the abuse. And he was who she was confiding in about all the things that were going on. And he still decided to wife her up. And this is their third baby. I am going to pray for him, though. A lot of people are saying that their marriage is not going to last after the testimony. Again, I don't know. But that has to be a hard, no pun intended, but that has to be a hard pill to swallow. That has to, wow. Yeah, it's just disgusting. But was she or was she not a willing participant? Ask that question. I'm gonna go on. Was she or was she not willing? He said, nope, whoever wifed her is a soldier because I couldn't. Sorry. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. The shoot, especially the pee in the, oh my goodness. My goodness. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That might be a way to rope Black people into Catholicism. Exactly. Exactly. It's something just not adding up to me. Because what would be the reason for you to dig that information up and bring it to the forefront? Ain't no way. And I mean, down south, the Catholics are Black. Well, I should say around Louisiana area, the Blacks are Catholic. But yeah, I think this is to get the rest of them. I'm still surprised the old Pope is dead. Really? I mean, he was old as I don't know what. But I mean, besides he was old, I don't know if they could have. I don't know. I feel like he might know too much as well. They might have to take him up out of here. Cassie's husband was one of her escort also, for real? That's what I'm saying. I think he knows. Maybe not all the details once again, because I heard he was gagging in the courtroom. But man, that has to be hard. Oprah eats the souls of children with her cornflakes. Listen, we still don't have answers from the African school that she had. We still don't know. I believe Oprah has a lifelong boyfriend. I don't remember his name, but I read an article about him once. Stedman Graham, I believe his last name is. And I want to say that he lives in the outback in the house of her mansion, or something crazy like that. But yeah, but they try to make it seem like he's been her beard for all these years. Like she supposedly has been in a gay relationship with Gayle King, and he's just there as a prop. You know, because every now and then he pops up in the pictures, but yeah, you really don't hear too much about him. Yeah, I don't know if they're really together. That's funny. Stedman. They say that he's been in a relationship with Oprah Winfrey since 1986. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. It was revealed during court. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've been catching little bits and pieces, but I haven't watched the full courtroom appearances or nothing. Wow. He might be just as, you know what? Let me shut up. I'm going to say it like this. Y'all have a great way of understanding, exaggerating, and over exaggerating when it comes to convenient. I don't think he knew the fullest extent. I, like I said, I heard he was cringing and wincing in the courtroom, so maybe he didn't know everything. But, ugh. But people are thinking that he might divorce her now after learning that she was getting her mouth urinated in. He's staying with the 30 million she just won. Exactly. And then, I mean, they got 3 kids. Well, the third one on the way. They got all these children together. I don't know. I just feel like I would be having flashbacks of the testimony, you know, every time we're together. I probably couldn't do it. I probably could not do it. I believe she went in thinking it was just going to be regular sex, but it turned out to be deeper than she thought. Probably. I mean, I don't know if she's into this kinky stuff without him, but yeah, probably. Yeah. Is that 30 million worth the memories? I don't see how it could be. Like I don't see how it could be. I would have a hard time drinking like apple juices. I would just have a hard time. I she's definitely strong for that. But again, I don't know if she was in on it. It seemed like she was down with the get down. Stockholm syndrome. Something. Something. Because yeah. Because they say they start falling in love with their captors and stuff. And they were even showing text messages where she was laid up with her husband and texting Puff. It's like, what? So yeah, it probably is. And how she loves freak offs and The Catholic Church is the Church of Satan. Oops. Yeah. Do you think that there's a significance of the new pope being from the US, though? Do you think that is going to be an easier way to get Americans into Catholicism? You said that's a question to ask him? Yeah. I'll be praying for him for real. She probably thought it was going to be some. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Biden has prostate cancer. I'm just going to shake my head right now. What do I want to say? Isn't it ironic that this pedo who likes children bouncing on his lap and who likes taking showers with his daughter and who, has a POS type of son like a Hunter Biden, that he has prostate cancer? Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say. It's like they it's like they do all this foolishness. I'm trying not to cuss. They do all this foolishness and then they just get to go out. Then they just die off after they've wreaked so much havoc on the rest of society, on the rest of their family, then they just, and I'm not saying obviously cancer is not one of those diseases where you just go away quietly, but it's just so convenient that he gets to end his life after all that he's done, or all that he's been accused of doing. Let me say allegedly. This is what he's into. Yeah, I'm not happy about that at all. Catholics have some pretty sus rituals. They believe they literally call Jesus down from heaven and into the bread and wine when doing the Eucharist. Google what happens if the Pope drops the bread. I will definitely Google what happens when the Pope drops the bread. I didn't know that there was such a thing. Pope drops bread. But yeah. But like we talk about so much, it's easy to be deceived by the Catholic Church because they were right there at the turn of the century after Christ died. And so, and after the disciples were martyred, they were able to just pick up and act like, man, I'm trying to talk about them bad, but they were just able to pick up and act like they were the disciples, and that the message was passed down to them, and that Jesus created all these Catholic Church, and that they were able to do that once the martyrs of Christ died. Okay, so I don't know if this AI is right. I try not too much to hold on. Let me see if I can get some answers from Cora. So what happens? Oh, wait, they are asking what happens to Jesus when the priest drops the Eucharist bread onto the floor? Is it sacrilege or how is it handled? Well, to illustrate how seriously priests can take this, years ago, my old Catholic priest had been working at a nursery home when doing the services for the residents, many of whom were in advanced stages of dementia. One day, He was celebrating the Eucharist and distributing communion to the residents. He went around with the chalice from person to person and came to one person in particular. She gave him a vacant look, stared at him for a moment, then abruptly and swiftly removed her dentures, oh my, and put them in the chalice. And yes, the priest drank every drop. Okay, that doesn't help me out with the Eucharist. It's not really telling me, but it looks, from what I can see, they pick it up and eat it. But I feel like that's not what you're talking about. I have a funny feeling that's not what you're talking about. If the crumbs from the bread fall to the ground or drops of wine, then okay, no, that can't be it. Yeah, you got to tell us. You got to tell us what happens. Because I don't know. I've never been to mass or anything like that. That's crazy. You said that's believable. I do not understand how Catholicism exists. If you read the Bible, it goes against 95% of stuff they do and practice. Yes. But again, they picked up right after the martyrs, the disciples died. And when you say things like, oh, you got to honor Jesus' mother Mary, it's just a lot of reasons why I think people get caught up in Catholicism. Because it sounds as though that's something that Christ would want you to do. He would want you to establish one universal church. You know, I'm trying not to go in, as you guys can see. I'm trying to hold back because I feel like every week I go in on Catholicism, and I don't try to, but just be foolishness. She had herpes in her mouth. Something, because she said that she kept on getting sores in her mouth from all the oral sex. That's so crazy, right? Man. I'm sorry, there's no way of forgetting your wife rubbed other men's ejaculation liquid on Diddy's nipples, and this being said to the entire world. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like I can see why they say that she liked it. And then what woman, why is she with a man who likes other men's semen rubbed on him? That's just weird in itself. But that's another reason why a lot of people are saying that the STDs are on the rise, because a lot of these women, and I don't know what's going on, but a lot of these women have no problem being with men who like men. I've never heard of such a thing in all my life, but this generation, they love being with men who like men. And if you don't like men as a man, they don't want to get with you. We heard Tracy Ellis Ross say this the other day. You hear Doechii talking about it. These women are sick. What Cassie did for fame is what a lot of people would do to position themselves for access. Think of people pledging the D9 organization and joining OES or Masons. What Cassie did is probably what a lot of these celebrities have done, but they're just not saying. Now, and I know that I was asked this on a different live about, I was actually asked if I personally did it. And I was like, what in the hell? But I don't know any D9 members and all that kind of stuff that were sleeping around to get online. But then again, I guess we weren't going out, with billionaires and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't on the table. Maybe more women would have, but that wasn't on the table. But no, I think a lot of these celebs go through this, but for whatever reason, she seems to be the only one speaking out. Seen a picture of Diddy in court, his hair fully gray, and he looks like he's pushing 70. Yep. Yep. Might not be cancer, but just swelling from his man lover. Yeah, that's just nasty. Them demons catching up to him. Yep. Yep. I seen people saying in the comments saying the adrenochrome wearing off. Yep. She even started admitting to his tunnels that she was down there in them tunnels. I think they knew already. You mean when you say that you think they knew, you talking about you think Cassie's husband knew, or who are you speaking about? F cancer. It took my grandma on December 17th. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry for the language. No, you're good. Yeah, cancer is no joke. I know they were scraping to get Biden's daughter's diary. Don't they? I feel like don't they already have it? How were they reading his daughter's journal entries? Everyone gets cancer today because of the food. Back before processed foods and foods with heavy metals, cancer was unheard of. Yeah. And I think even before vaccines got real heavy, I think cancer was very, very rare. But no, you're right. The food we eating today, not even real organic food. Exactly. What was I? I went to eat something today and it said that it was genetically modified organ. I was like, why? I can't even remember what it was. I was like, ugh. Even the organic food is tampered in the USA. Yeah, I hear that organic is not really organic. It means something else. Honestly, when it says USDA, I try to stay away from it because I know that they ain't about nothing. They believe Jesus is actually in the bread, and if it hits the floor, there's a cleansing ritual that has to be done. Okay, I'll have to look into the actual ritual because, yeah, I just saw that they had to do something, but they didn't go into detail. The Pope eats Jesus after washing him. It's a shame. He said, "What are y'all talking about?" It depends. It depends on when you popped in at. We have talked about Tory Lanez getting caught up and how Rock Nation might be behind it. He had got on live during the pandemic and was given all the game about how to make money in the music industry. And so that might be the cause of it. We have talked about Cassie and how we are praying for her and her. I don't know if y'all said y'all praying for her, but we're definitely praying for her husband, all the things that he had to hear as far as the testimony behind what the heck was happening in her and Diddy's relationship. We have talked about the so-called Black Pope and whether or not they're going to be using that as a plot in the agenda. Yeah. It's not disputed at all in the history books that the Catholic Church took on pagan rites and rituals to make pagans more likely to convert. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But most people don't even know that. Yeah, most people don't even know that. I'll just say that. Most people don't know that. And then when you get into conversations about like the Nicene Creed and the councils and stuff like that, it really gets convoluted at that point. But they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be here to confuse the masses and lead them astray, and they're doing a good job. And like you said, blatantly, the things in script, like Catholic, they're blatant. They're blatant. Everything the Bible says not to do, they do it. Don't call a man father. Oh, we're going to call the Pope father. Like, wait, what? Don't worship the Queen of Heaven. Well, we're going to call Mary the Queen of Heaven. It's like, y'all are purposely, and again, if you don't read and you get caught up. I didn't even know about all that. Diddy overly freaked out for real. Oh, for real. Somebody was saying that there's no way a person can be that horny. There's no way. They said that man was having, some of the freak offs were lasting 4 days at a time. They were having to get IVs just to get more sustenance after it. Craziness. Ejac you what on people's what exactly? What in the heck were they doing? That's a nasty mofo right there. I'm sorry, and excuse my language, but that's nasty. Diddy the last boss of undercover men. Oh my goodness. I sure hate it. I sure hate it. Women are picking gay, bisexual men because women want to be the men in the situation. So they pick damaged men. That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense, but do you want the power that much? I mean, really, you want the power that much? I don't know. I need to have a conversation with one of these women because I need to find out the mindset behind why. And I might have even told y'all about the conversation that I had with a young man who was asking. Obviously, he was asking about women, but he was pretty much like, if I want to bring another woman in the bedroom with me, and my girl doesn't mind, what's the problem? And I'm like, there's no problem, but if you can do everything that a woman can do, what makes you think that your girl likes you if she wants to bring another woman in the bed? I didn't tell him that, but you lacking something, homie. You can do everything that a woman can do. And you actually have the part to pleasure her, but she want a woman? Okay. Okay. Whatever you have to tell yourself. When you defeat all the undercover men, you gotta pay as the final boss. Y'all are funny. That's so sad though, because it seems as though he's been running through these men. That's not good. That's not good. I heard they have a special jail for celebrities. I don't know how true that is. Yeah, I don't know how true that is either, because how the heck did Tory get stabbed up then? And then there's people that have said that they were in prison with, Tupac and all kinds of celebrities. No, I think they're in general population for the most part. Yeah, I don't know how true that is either. Cassie just made a career off of strictly being a bang bang celebrity. Other stars have gang bangs to be celebrated as an artist in music or film. You know what's crazy though? When her song Me and You first came out, I remember my best friend's brother saying something about it because she was, what are the lyrics? Oh, all the other guys, they they heard I was good. They want to see if it's true. It's like, what? Her so those lyrics have always been suspect, but to find out that you really are getting down like that, I don't know. So pretty of a girl too. Not that means anything, but goodness. I've been around big money and witnessed what the average person is willing to do when compromising on their morals to get it. Ugh. I'm afraid to even know. And what's crazy is I've seen it too. And I've seen it at places just where I've worked. You know, women just mistaking their not I said mistaking. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking the things that people will do for a paycheck, and then when you don't get down like that, then they want to talk down about you. Oh, they mock me for real about about loving God and this and that. I'm like, okay, okay, you can be mad about it all you want to, but I'm not in here on my knees for a paycheck though. There's that. Jay-Z is the only one Jay-Z will allow to sleep with Bey. What? Wait, why would you say that? Did he? Why would you say that? I think Diddy is really gay and hides it with the women he dates. But I'm seeing more and more of that. Have y'all? I want to say I might have brought this up before, but have y'all heard of lavender marriages, lavender relationships, where the men are gay and then the women marry them just because? It just seems like it's getting to be a real common thing. So I believe it. And for whatever reason, these women do not care. These women do not care. Especially when they had him on, shoot. They had that audio of him bending Meek Mill over, and I don't know why women want him. I truly believe Jay-Z is a cook. I think so too, but that's just because I've heard that Beyonce gets passed around. I don't know if he's one of the ones that sit in the corner and watches like Diddy, but I don't know if he has an issue. The Black Pope controls all the secret societies. It goes back to the Catholic Church. Do you think that they're trying to make a play on the quote unquote Black Pope with them giving society a pope that's supposed to be Creole and Haitian? Because I can see them doing that, playing with words. Fruit etymology: the sweet and fleshy product of a tree or other plant that contains seeds that can be eaten as food. Fruit: the seed-bearing structure of plant. For instance, for example, an acorn. Yeah. Fruits today in USA, majority of the time have no seeds, but the definition is clear that contains seeds or supposed to. Yep. And I think that's what throws me off about them saying that lemons are not real. Because I'm like, man, lemons have seeds. But I hear that they're not real. I don't know. You should have told him that. Told them that. Sorry, I don't know what that's in reference to. I'm so sorry. That mean his girl is really, oh, you should, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, I see what you're talking about. That mean his girl is really a lesbian because she sees him and that random female as equal. Exactly. But they make it seem like it's a cool thing for the girl to like girls, and then all of a sudden, I get it, but uh, it doesn't make sense to me. Walter Vaith, The Secret Behind Secret Societies lecture on YouTube is something all Christians should watch so they understand the current world structure of power and politics the Catholic Church yields. Walter Vaith is, I'm not going to say he's the truth because I'm not trying to blaspheme, but Walter Vaith does not play. I told y'all he's one of the ones I take my notes from when he lets them speak for themselves. He doesn't put words in their mouth. He just shows you from their own doctrines, from their own buildings and their temples, and he shows you what they believe in from their own mouths. I love it. But yeah, I agree. I agree. So I'm gonna watch it tonight. Yeah. Hey there. Well, good. I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. Let's see here. KD, it won't disappoint. He provides huge amounts of evidence going back millennia to back all his findings. Yep. Shows you pictures, everything. He's got quite a few videos. And I think if you go to archive.com, if you can't find it on the internet, if you go to archive.org, they have not only books and stuff that you all can read for free, but they also have videos as well. So just a cool little resource for the nerds out there. You said, what did I miss so far? Oh, you missed a lot. We have talked about Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. We have talked about Cassie and Diddy. We're kind of still talking about all those things. We've talked about the Pope having prostate cancer. No, I lied. About Biden having prostate cancer, the new Pope being supposedly black. And how we pretty much believe that a lot of this stuff has an agenda behind it. Yeah, Jay-Z is a cuck. You said you missed some craziness. Hope you're doing all right. Yep. He said, yes, I seen the Zesty Rapper video. It was cool. Good. Ever notice how when you buy seeds from Walmart or other big box stores, the foods or plants from them don't make seeds, so you have to keep buying seeds from them? Oh, okay. Wait. No, I guess I didn't notice that. I guess I didn't notice. Mm-mm. He's probably got the best breakdown I've ever seen on the matter. I got so reeled in the first time I saw it. I watched the whole thing in one day. Yeah. I used to definitely binge watch Walter Vaith. I wonder if he has anything new out. Yes, I will definitely check that out. Finding seeded fruits is super rare for some reason. I mean, I know we at least still have them out here. But I feel like I know a lot about secret societies, but I'm always down to learn or relearn something. Oh, yeah. Because more of their doctrine comes to light. No, was that you? That was you that posted the information on the Patreon about shoot, I don't know why I just had a brain fart. Dang, what were we talking about? Hold on, let me check. Let me look. Oh, yes. Okay. I was like, I lost my train of thought for a second. The note was posting about some of the scriptures that are being found in the Talmud. And man, things that you would never ever know unless somebody were to post that type of information online. Because even the Talmud is a secret book. You can't just go and buy it. And if you do, I think it's like $2,000 or something. You have to really find someone who has it. But their scriptures are very, very telling. And really, you have to get your hands on these books. I remember when I was in college and they first started outing the Divine Nine, and somebody went and put the ritual books out there. They started putting it on the internet, started tearing out pages and posting it around the campus and stuff. That's really the only way that you're going to learn about a lot of these secret societies, is if the whistleblowers say something, because their doctrines are so secret. Yeah. Yeah, you always know all the gems I got in my basket. Walter goes deep on anything he commits to his research. It's always very detailed. Yep. He's like all the other legends, he's getting older. As long as no scandal comes out about him, I think I'll be okay. Because I was really disappointed in a lot of um even like preachers and stuff that I would listen to, ones who were really good at apologetics, and then come to find out that they were into just foolish. I'm like, man. So as long as they don't try to get him for nothing, I'll be happy. I'll be real happy. I was lucky enough to get thousands of seeds from my aunt before she died. It's been 8 years, and I still have a huge stock of what she gave me, and I'll do half-acre garden yearly. Oh, wow. Man, I wish I was a green thumb. I will kill a plant in a heartbeat. Not on purpose. What's in the dark will come to light. Yep. A lot of these books you speak of can be hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're well protected. Yes. Because I was looking that up the other day. I was like, well, how much does a Talmud uh, cost? And yeah, it was up there. I just want to read it for free so I can see what they're talking about in it. Because there were some crazy scriptures about, killing Protestants and what they're allowed to do with underage children and all kinds of stuff. No, Walter Bay didn't have a scandal. I think I was thinking about more like a Ravi Zacharias, if you guys are familiar with him. He was really good at Christian apologetics, and then come to find out he was sexually assaulting women, and then he ended up dying. I was like, man, people that you think are for the kingdom be on that foolishness. Lots of people are waking up. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Slowly but surely. Once the cobwebs are removed and they get past the thought of everything being, quote unquote conspiracy theory. No, when you realize it's just conspiracies going on, then yeah, you start paying attention a lot more. The scary thought is Walter has remained untouched when it seems like others have gotten killed for saying less than half the stuff he said in his lectures, right? Again, it always baffles me how some people get under the radar and some people don't. I mean, I'm glad that he has, because he's been able to teach a lot, but hopefully. I killed everything till my 4th year. I switched to a hydroponic setup with tilapia for nutrients, and it's self-sustaining now. I change the water out like every few weeks. That's it. Okay. I'm gonna get back into it, but I'm gonna wait till I get another yard, a bigger yard to do that in. But yeah, I feel like the places out here at least have seeds. And so hydroponic, it's not anything weird, is it? Because I had some hydroponic strawberries the other day, and I was like, "Are these real?" And what's the significance of the hydroponic method? Very true. Nope. I was thinking when I was shocked hearing some of the things he has spoken of in public. Man, y'all gonna have me go and rewatch some of his lectures. Some. I don't know. Maybe they feel like people aren't paying attention to him or something. I was listening to him and was like, nah, they not finna let him live. Oh my gosh. That's so sad that we have to think that way. And that's what happens. We have too much information. No, super simple. Basically, the plants are suspended in tubs with water and grow downward towards the water. Okay. Okay. I mean, they were good. They were good and juicy and sweet, and I liked them. I wasn't sure. Was not sure. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. I do not know. Unless he's right with God, I mean, he could be protected. That could be true as well. That could be true as well. And I think a lot of these, obviously, especially with and he's not a pastor, right? But the pastors that have gone down and were watching it, they were into stuff they had no business being into. Just rewatched iRobot yesterday, and that's the plot to Tesla. Gee, I know it. Every time I see them come out with something, I always think about iRobot. I do need to watch it just so I can refresh my memory, but I don't know. I mean, Musk knows this stuff. Elon knows this stuff. That's why he's trying to separate his himself from his own creations. But it's no going back. Usually when you speak truth, you become a target. I think it's harder to off people today, though, when someone has a large following or a bunch of eyes on them, it's kind of a way of protecting themselves. I mean, it is, but I feel like these people have no shame, though. I've been thinking about bloggers and stuff that have come out speaking, and next thing you know, they have died of mysterious causes. They don't care. They don't even care about it looking suspect. If you have too much information, you're out of there. Enjoyable movie still holds up. Mostly 7 out of 10 CGI was dated, but it makes sense. And Will Smith is one of the ones that has brought a lot of that CGI and deep fake and cloning stuff to the forefront through his movies. I learned a lot from Pastor Darby. He was another bold truth speaker and the only pastor I've seen speak on and against secret societies, Divine Nine, Boule, Freemasons, Jesuits, etc. Yeah, exactly. And people think that he got offed as well. I think as soon, well, no, when I found him, he had already passed away. But I binge watched a lot of his sermons because it was right where I was at the time. It was all the stuff that I was learning about at the time. And I was like, man, you're right. Because I'll tell you, the church I was going to, he would never have spoken out against stuff like that. Not at all. Not at all. And a lot of pastors won't. Heck, you see TD Jakes stepping down. And a lot of people feel like it's because of the allegations that have come up with, I can't think of the man's name, but pretty much was saying that he was being molested by him or wanted to be molested by him when he was younger. I'll never forget the lessons of iRobot. It's not a coincidence. Musk robots look identical. Exactly. And he keeps showing them in the kitchen cooking, showing them in the factories working, all kinds of stuff. Ain't no turning back. It's almost like if a person dies, it certifies their legitimacy. In truth being said, yeah, it's like a graduation. I hate to say it because I definitely don't want to go that way, but it does seem like that. It does seem like that. So yeah, I like a lot of his stuff too. Yeah. I mean, he would speak about CERN and all kinds of stuff. I'm so glad I learned about secret societies a couple years before Christ revealed himself to me. There's literally nothing that can break my faith. Good. I learned about it late. I learned about yeah, I had already graduated college by then. But the Lord was already putting me up on game about the secret societies and stuff while I was in it. But at the time, I didn't know that I was in a so-called secret society until he started showing me stuff like, okay, you see this, you see that, you see this, you see what you're singing, you see. I was like, oh, you were right. You're absolutely right. Then I saw the rituals, and then I started learning about Masons and their rituals. I'm like, we were doing some of them rituals too. And I'm not saying that in a proud way. I'm saying like, man, they almost got me. If I was not a child of God, I might have gotten in deeper than I would be able to get myself out of. Just started watching him in September of last year. Used to see his videos pop up, but never clicked before then. No, he gets deep. Y'all, I actually posted a cover video of a song. Oh, really? You gotta let us know what that is so we can check it out. Katie, that's actually how I came to Christ. I was in an area with a lot of OTO members. I saw firsthand the occult and realized, okay, if they are this invested in this side, there has to be a creator. Interesting. I've heard that said a few times. Like if the devil is real, and I know he's real because I'm dabbling, not me, I'm saying what I've heard people say. I'm dabbling in witchcraft, then God has to be real. You said, I may take it down. To be honest, I'm a sing for the Lord. I thought about it recently. Okay. Well, let us know. Yeah, let us know. I want to go back and sing for the Lord, but I need to find another church first. And I ran into one of my old church members the other day in the grocery store. She told me I couldn't come back just to be on the praise team. So, and although I was joking with her about that, but nah, I gotta find somebody who's right with the Lord to lead me. Said I was so confused why they hate this Jesus that doesn't exist. Then the veil slowly started to fall off my eyes, and I think he knew I was ready for the 100% truth. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Katie, sounds like a lot like my experience. I just couldn't deny things anymore after seeing how present the other side was and the hate for Jesus, who they at the same time claim doesn't exist. So Cam the King, we definitely got similar testimonies. A lot of ex-occult people give testimony, and it's absolutely shocking some of the practices they say they took part in. Yeah. Yep. If they even get out alive. If they even get out alive. Because some of these people end up being a sacrifice. He said, yes, I've been wanting to go to church recently. I want a place to fellowship with other believers, but my grandparents tell me to be careful since there's a lot of falseness. I mean, you really do. You really do. A lot of pastors are doing it for their own gain. A lot of pastors are doing it to get rich. A lot of pastors are doing it to hide behind, what they got going on in the background. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Katie, the problem is now I see the symbolism everywhere. I can't go anywhere without drawing connections. Yeah, it's definitely a gift and a curse once you start getting that knowledge. I have yet to find a solid biblical church. And I believe that there are some. But it might be rare. It might be rare. Same. Even when I'm chilling, trying to watch shows with my girl or family, I see and notice too much. Yeah. Again, blessing and a curse, but I feel like for those of us who can see this stuff, it's good for us now because we know what to stay away from, if at all possible. Yeah. Nope, you and me both. I thought I found a good one, then found out they celebrate things like Christmas and Easter, so I'm back looking. Yeah, I don't see you finding too. I mean, obviously there's got to be some, but not too many are not going to practice Christmas and Easter. No. Shoot, my old church still practices what they call it Hallelujah night. It's supposed to be Halloween, but instead of going trick-or-treating, you go to church, but you're pretty much doing the same thing at the church that you would be doing outside. You just inside collecting your candy. You still dressed up. You still doing all that stuff. It's not like you're listening to sermons and stuff on that night. So I'm looking for a church home too. Yeah. Katie, at least it isn't me. Sometimes I'll be wishing I never got into info because now I see crap everywhere. Yeah. I was warned about it when I first started researching. They were like, if you look into the abyss, pretty much that's what you're gonna get. But I couldn't stop looking this stuff up. I could not stop. It got so addictive looking into it because again, like I've told y'all countless times before, I was so baffled by the fact that it was true that I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. Because the whole time I'm thinking, oh, just stuff that people say, people just throw out the name Illuminati and, there's no merit to it whatsoever. But then when I found out, oh, this stuff is for real. And then one rabbit hole connects to another rabbit hole, then connect to another rabbit hole. You just cannot stop. You can't stop looking at it. So, Cam, I get Christmas and Easter are pagan holidays. Yeah. They lucky I have common sense because sometimes when I bid in random churches, I want to get up and say, "This Negro alive." Oh my. And that might be what needs to happen. Because you got people sitting up in like a church like Mike Todd, and who's this other person I heard about this week that was just doing I can't remember what church that was. Yeah, it's just a lot going on. Gospel ain't gospel no more. And I remember years ago, when Marvin Sapp requested to be my friend on Facebook. And I was thinking to myself, why in the heck do you want to be my friend? We don't know each other. I don't go to your church. You finna get me caught up with the deacon? I'm just playing. That's not my style anyway, but took my family 5 years to accept I no longer celebrate or partake in that stuff. Yeah. My family's still trying to. They understand now. They understand now. I don't think Jesus was born in December. Well, most scholars don't believe that either. Most scholars would say that he was born more so in the springtime, if not summer. Because they said that the wise men wouldn't have been traveling and walking in the snow and stuff. But that's the reason why a lot of people think that Jesus is based off of some type of myth or copied from a myth, because most of the mythologies and stuff where a so-called God is born, he was born in December. And so when they put Jesus' birth in December, it just made it seem like he was following after all the other pagan gods. But yeah. The last church I went to said Easter isn't pagan, and this pastor's defense was just Google it. Jumped off the topic real quick. I stood up and walked out the church. Google it. No, he didn't say that. That's a shame. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I spoke with a pastor who told me they wouldn't stop with holidays because they were some of the largest days for funding. Whoa. I mean, but I can see where he's coming from, because there's people that do not. There's people that don't go to church all year round, but Christmas, Easter, and I think Mother's Day and Father's Day, they try to get them a good old seat. So I can tell. I can see how that's true. Me and my grandfather talked about it before. Yeah, again, most scholars wouldn't say that Jesus is born in December. The people that believe in the stuff take it super seriously, so we all should. Yeah. That's true too. I think when I was growing up, I don't think I would have had a reason to look into other beliefs and other religions and things of that sort. But now I see how important it is to understand, not even that you have to know other doctrines, but you got to know how it's different from the doctrine that you believe in. You can't just take people saying, "Oh, all religions are the same." It's like, if you studied all religions, if you just studied 3 religions, you would see that they're not the same. That Mike Todd is super sassy. Yes, he is. And I think that he makes excuses for it. I think he makes it out like it's a good thing. But yeah, he's definitely super sassy. Is he married? If it is, it's probably a lavender marriage. But again, people are sitting up in his church like there's nothing wrong with it. His clothes be so tight. We were talking about half naked women earlier. That pastor's clothes be so tight, you can see everything he's thinking. And they be tight right up in the crotch too. I don't know what's wrong with him, but it's a blessing and a curse. Even though you see all the symbols, the spells can't work anymore. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Some of the best churches I have been to have been inside people's homes with a small amount of people, or in the backyard with less than 30 people. Yeah. And I can understand where you're coming from, because when my church was super small, people had that same sentiment. They're like, man, the pastor will stand there and shake our hand after church, and everybody knows everybody and this and that. But then when we got big, half the people didn't even know who the pastor was anymore. You said right. That's what my grandpa says. The pagan god, what's his name? Nimrod was born in December. They always say, yeah, Nimrod. I think they say Mithras is born in December. I want to even say like Horus and Osiris and them are born in December. All of the pagan gods are born in December. Let them tell it. So they just rope everybody in. What's really sad is all the Christians who don't have the knowledge and will pay for it later by celebrating these holidays yearly. Yeah. They don't keep Christ first. And I don't even know if Easter and Christmas are so bad. I mean, again, I know where Christmas comes from, so I know the pagan roots of it, but I think that Halloween is really what's gonna get people. That Halloween is really gonna get people, because they don't know that that's straight up devil worship. Yeah. A wrong doctrine can get you sent to hell. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Ever since he put spit with his hand on that man's what? He did what? He put spit on his hand and put it on a man's face. That's disgusting. Oh man, it would have took everything in me not to slap his face. I can't even imagine. Nope, I don't even want to read your comment. I'm over here trying not to crack up. Mike Todd is clearly spiritually gay. What does that even? Not he's spiritually gay. He's definitely something, but and I could see. I'm surprised to see as many men sitting in his church as it is. I would think that the guys would be like, "No, I'm good on all this," but they're not good on all. They're sitting right there in the front. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shown unto thee than men understand. Yeah. Small churches, mega churches, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if there's a big mega church that still preaches the word and does all that, then more power to them. But they haven't shown one. I should say the ones that we see on TV and stuff, because there might be a mega church that they really just don't broadcast on the mainstream like that. There's a local church here where the pastor was talking about the building being $3+ million. I was like, why? Think about what you could do for others with that money. Exactly. I ain't gonna lie, our building fund, our church is being renovated right now, but I remember when we first moved out of our old church and got the new church, it cost $3 million. Yep, it cost $3 million. And everybody, but it was building fund money. You remember the building fund that we used to talk about? They actually did have a building fund. But you're right. There's a lot that could be done with that money. Yeah, there's a lot that could be done. Yeah, $3 million for a building, and there's hungry people outside. I just can't see that. He said, "Oh man, that spit act almost made me vomit." Y'all gotta be. I know y'all not playing, and that's now I'm feeling sick right now because I know y'all not playing. Ugh. I don't even know what to say. I know, right? Can't even regress it, huh? Ugh. Shoot, there is horrible things being taken place on Halloween Day. Horrible things. They say that the most sacrifices take place on Halloween. The most children go missing on Halloween. What else they say about Halloween? I mean, heck, that's the most important things right there. You got to be watching where your kids are because they will snatch up your kid and use them for a ritual. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being for real. Watch your children on that day. And most people don't even know where the jack-o'-lantern comes from or the trick or treat. All that stuff that was a real question that they would come to your doorpost and ask you, trick or treat. And if you said trick, they would ask you to sacrifice your firstborn child. And if you did not refuse, if you refused, they would leave a little piece of something on your porch, pretty much to signify, kind of pretty much like the Passover did, how you had that left the blood on the post. They would leave something on the post of your door so that they know that you refused, and they would come back and kill the entire family. That's what trick or treat is really about. The reason why they dress up in ghouls and goblins is because on that day, the veil between the physical and the spiritual is supposed to be so thin that they can interact with demonic spirits. And so in order to not be harassed by these demonic spirits, they would dress up like them so they could blend in like them. I mean, there's so many different things about the bobbing for apples. Man, they used to put man. I don't want to get into this, but they put razors in the apples and you bob for the apples. That's another part of the trick or treat. Some demonic stuff goes on. The men in his church are just like them. They have to be. There's no way you got to be sitting in that pew waiting to be the next one on stage so he could stop you with a handful of spit. Because there's no way that. And there's people that try to justify it too. They're like, "Oh, there was a reason. There was a reason why he had pumps on during the sermon. There was a reason why he slapped him with a handful of spit. There was a reason why he poured syrup all over the pulpit." Mm. Or that pastor who tried to justify owning a private jet worth millions. I feel like that's a number of pastors. I feel like that was Creflo Dollar, Jesse Duplantis, and some other people have all owned jets. And I think I said this before, if you're a missionary and your job is to travel all over the world to go and minister to people, I can understand why you might have a private jet. But to just fly around for no reason, no, I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying my tithes for that. Kenneth Copeland is crazy. You know, I didn't really pay too much attention to Kenneth Copeland. He's been around for a lot of years, but I think when I really started perking up about him is when he started drinking the blood in the pulpit. Him and he and that other pastor cut their fingers and poured it into the chalice. Now, chalice always symbolizes being filled with blood, just so y'all know. So they put their blood in the cup and they both started drinking out of it. I was like, okay. And that's another church where I'm like, okay, are you really still sitting in the pew? I can't believe this. Is this still on the internet? I want to look at it, but I don't want to look at it. Seems like all the good biblically sound Baptist churches of the 90s and early 2000s have went so far to the other side. Yeah. I really can't even think of one. So, were they ever biblical? Yeah, that spit thing actually still makes me gag to this day. And I've seen dead, rotten animal bodies opened up in front of me multiple times. I'm not going to ask why that is, but man, y'all are going to make me want to see this video, but I know I'm not going to want to see it. Because I told you I have a weak stomach. Ugh. Thanks. I couldn't remember his name, but I remember his demonic looking eyes in that interview. Yeah, he's definitely crazy looking. Stay out of the hills in California on Halloween. I've heard that too. It sounds like people just need to stay out of California, period. But no, I'm playing. I know a lot of people from California, very sweet people, and it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. Just a lot of foolishness goes on there. Oh yeah, some of those origin stories are vital. Yep. Something with Krampus, he was a child-eating demon-looking creature. Yeah. Looks just like the Baphomet. Just like the Baphomet. Yeah, that's plain old disrespect. I'm gonna look it up when we get off here, but I don't want to. One of his church members is dying, needing a liver transplant, and the pastor says, "I'll fly by your window in my jet as you die and wave." That's a shame. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh man, that shows you how stupid people are. They can attend a blood ritual and think nothing of it. don't know if you just in shock and you sit there and watch that, but I don't know. I think as soon as I saw him, I would have seen him cut his finger and put his finger, drops of blood in the chalice. I would have had to go. But then again, I don't know. You said roadkill epiphany. That's what I mean. Jeez. Oh, I'm just asking. I have to ask clarifying questions because I just never know. I just never know. You said, yeah, it's cringy more so and still weird and disgusting at the same time. So when the man got slapped with the spit hand, what did he do? That's what I want to know. What made it so bad was it wasn't just one loogie man filled his palm with the spit. Are you serious? He a nasty. He is nasty. Even Yoda has occult roots. There's manuscripts from the 400s with a creature that looks identical. He also kind of resembles Baphomet. Wow. Nah. I mean, I guess I don't put it past something called Star Wars, but no, that's crazy. And that they put the demons that they worship in front of our faces as if it's a creature that they just made up. That's even sicker. Y'all, I don't even want to read. Oh my goodness. Absolutely nothing. He just took it and stood there like nothing. Oh, I don't think so. That's just nasty. He basically, I cannot. I can't. He basically used the straw to slurp up. That's gross. That's gross. But listen, if that's what they like, I don't know what to say. That's just gross. Oh yeah, tons of things have occult roots that one might not even suspect. There used to be a special. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was called the Something Club, but it was where all these ex-occult members would come and they would speak about pretty much the hidden occult objects in your home. And that used to be a pretty eye-opening theories. I don't know if that's what you would call it, but that was pretty eye-opening because it was talking, things that you would go overseas, maybe to Africa, you would get an artifact, bring it back, unbeknownst to you, it's been dedicated to a deity. Yeah, so they would just talk about all kinds of stuff that I'm pretty sure I can find it. I think I've still seen it. And I'll try to clip it and post it, but yeah, you're right. We would be definitely surprised by the amount of occult origins that a lot of stuff has. But people don't believe you when you say that. I know, right? Me too. I gagged twice now. Yeah, me too. I can't. Superheroes are fallen angels that we all worship, looked up to once in our lives. And it definitely seems like that. Superman's. I don't know about Batman, but X-Men. I'm sold more and more daily than the average person is stupid. You couldn't get me to agree to getting a face of spit. Did he know what was about to happen? I just can't picture that. I'm just disturbed by thinking about it. Oh yeah, I had to do some deep cleaning of my home after sleep paralysis back in the day. Once I got rid of some items, it stopped. Wow. So how did you know what items to get rid of? Like, did you just have an inkling like this is, or did you just get rid of all kinds of stuff and it just worked? Batman has some very dark occult roots. Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Did not know that. I guess the media like quote unquote gods and wants to be quote unquote God with all the superheroes and goats and stuff. Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. They want us all to believe. Yeah, that's exactly the agenda. Because not only does it help to push them as being gods and why they have the authority to rule over us, but it also helps with the alien agenda as well. When people start thinking there's superhuman things out there, oh yeah, it helps with the whole agenda. He basically begged for the spit. Oh my goodness. That's just nasty. 11, even if he didn't know what man except Diddy stands there and takes that. No, I guess I'm just trying to picture a pulpit where a man gets up on stage to have whatever he's going to do with the supposed pastor. And then all of a sudden, the pastor hawks a loogie in his hand and he gets slapped. I'm trying to see how the events, how the order of events came about. Because I just can't. That's just, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about that. Superman getting his power from the sun is esoteric for Antichrist getting his power from the black sun. Yeah, that makes sense. Hulk was my favorite superhero, and Loki embodied masculinity. Now they got him soft and docile. Yeah, didn't they have him? Don't they have him with a boyfriend in the new comic? They gave somebody a man, a boyfriend in the new comic. Besides, I thought they gave a couple people men. Matter of fact, heck no. They made the Hulk into a walking erectile dysfunction joke. I don't even know where to go with that. I got rid of easily seen bad things like statues of dragons, horse shoes, Versace watches with Medusa on it. Oh, okay. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. You said that's it, just watched it on an empty stomach. Man, if I got to do all of that, that's not something I need to put my eyes on. Heck no. I wish I could have been, I wish I could have seen some people in the church pews reaction. I know. All I hear is the cheers and stuff. They just be cheering and carrying on. Yeah, I need to see it. Again, I don't want to, but I got to see this Joker for myself. It's tough to watch, but it's hilarious. Spider-Man is gay, I think. It might be Spider-Man. I feel like it was a bunch of characters that came out, unfortunately. Spider-Man gay. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it was Spider-Man. But I don't know. Another thing is, oh my, they're pushing the LGBTQ agenda too much. Oh yeah. I think the world thought that it was gonna all shut down when Trump passed his executive orders, but I feel like they're getting even more riled up. And if it wasn't a vengeance before, it's definitely a vengeance now. Because they're coming harder in women's sports. They're coming harder out there on the streets. It's, I don't know. I mean, but I know they have to, but I guess I'm just wondering what's going to be next. Besides the P, we know that's coming. Well, that Marvel movie with the woman as a superhero was a flop. So much for girl power. Yeah, I think everybody's sick of it. I think everybody's sick of the swapping period, whether it's a racial swap or whether they exchange women for men's characters. People are not going for it. These comic lines are going to ruin their whole legacy with this foolishness. It's annoying to me as well. I ain't gonna lie. It's to the point where almost all the commercials that come on, you can tell it's not a straight man. And it's that voice that they always put on. I'll be like, man, can we get a man that sounds like a man on here? I'm so sick of that voice. I'm so sick of hearing it. And if you're trying to sound like women, we don't even sound like that. Where are y'all getting this accent from? That's what I want to know. And who's teaching the class? Because it's like they're all going to the same class, learning the same accent. This is ridiculous. The creator of Marvel admitted to pulling ideas from very dark things. Oof. I'm not surprised. They're even making childhood cartoon characters gay. What's the purpose of character that's not real being gay or lesbian? There's no point. They're trying to make it seem like representation matters. Okay, I said that wrong. Representation does matter, but that's what they're using in order to push this agenda harder in the cartoons. Because they're like, well, what about gay children? I'm sorry, and please forgive me. I do not mean to speak vulgarly, but you're not going to convince me that a little boy knows that a penis is going to go in his behind if he chooses that lifestyle. You're not going to convince me that little boy is choosing that, knowing what it entails. You're not going to convince me. And matter of fact, maybe that's what we need to start telling these little children. Do you know what happens in this lifestyle? Matter of fact, that's something I need to share. That I meant to share that with y'all this week. It was a really, really powerful testimony. It was on I'll be honest, I don't really know the name of the channel. It's like Henry and Monique or something like that. They're a married couple, but they seem to speak a lot of prophetic words. And he posted a testimony from this gay guy who was speaking to other gay guys. You guys actually have to hear it. I was going to turn off within like 10 seconds because, it was gay. But it was a really, really powerful message that he was speaking to the other people. So y'all have to hear it. But yeah, maybe we need to start telling these kids what the lifestyle entails. Why we as Black people got to experience it for ourselves to heed the warning. I don't know. I mean, I definitely did think it depends on what it is, but I don't know. You gotta see it to believe it. It's definitely a good laugh. You think, how raw does one have to be to allow someone to basically spit down their throat? I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about that. And did he walk away feeling blessed? How do you... Sorry, y'all. Y'all got me at a loss for words tonight. I don't know what to say. The spider alone has a lot of lore and occult. Now I can believe that as well, just because of the live that I'm not the live, but the video I did about Atlantis and how they were admitting that there were 4 pretty much demon gods that they worshipped, and one of them was a spider goddess. And she walks through the tombs in the underground. Yeah. It's some scary stuff to think about, but now that you brought that up, I can see that. Just knowing what I know now. And I had to, yeah. Mm-hmm. We'd be like, get out the way. You just saying stuff. I think things just sound so outlandish that you have to see it for yourself. For sure. I refer to them as the LGBT HDTO community. Yeah, it's a lot of letters now. Oh, are they finally right? It's not P anymore, it's MAP, minor attracted persons. Oh, I know. They talking about it heavy in California already. They knew that we knew that they were coming, so they tried to add more letters, but we already know what it's about. They're already fighting hard for it. Nope, they're trying to normalize it. Yeah, they are. They changed the Mortal Kombat characters, Cyborg and Cyrax, to females for no reason. Did they do that? I'm not saying you're lying, but why? I didn't know that. Because there were already female characters, so I don't know why. I don't know why they because y'all weren't seeing me with Sonya when she did the upside down bicycle kick. What? Sorry, I'm a gamer. Um and yeah, a lot of men in movies and commercials got a lisp. Oh my goodness. Commercials are just getting weird. If they even are a straight couple, they're an interracial couple. So it's either a gay couple or they are interracial. And I've definitely noticed that. Oh, you know what, Cam the King, you're right. It was Toy Story. It might be all the ones we're talking about, but Toy Story, they definitely made somebody gay in Toy Story. Yeah. I think, was it Woody or was it the Buzz Lightyear? You're right. You said I'm old enough to remember when being gay was gay. No, for real though. For real. Again, a lot of stuff that they're. Oh, I hope I do not have the hiccups again. This is gonna be the 3rd time today. Um, But again, back in the day, I just feel like we called things the way that it was. And now these days they try to sugarcoat it. Just like we were talking about earlier with the girls getting ran through. It's like, no, back in the day, everybody knew what a hoe was. Nowadays, all trying to act like there's no such thing. That's perversion to the fullest on children. Oh, it is. It sure is. But you have to get the children while they're young because they're more malleable at that age. Once you're older, you're pretty much stuck in your ways. There's not too many things that are going to change your mind unless real hardcore evidence comes about. But children, especially if an adult is saying it, yeah, they know that they're more likely to be believed. A little boy doesn't even think about stuff like that unless taught or being great. That's what I would assume. But I ain't gonna lie to you. There's one good question that the community can ask, and that's, did you have to choose to be straight? And I feel like that's the only relevant question that they have. Yeah, same with girls. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I had a friend before he passed. Guy used to work for me, and he was gay, but he didn't even like sex. He did not like having gay sex. And I asked him one time, and I apologize if I'm repeating the story, but I asked him one time why he was gay, and he said that he didn't want the responsibility of having to take care of his sisters. From a male perspective, he didn't want to be that strong male figure that was looking out for them, and he didn't want to take on the masculine role. Pretty much is what he told me. So much so that he decided to jump to the other side and didn't even like the other side. I mean, he did, like, he likes guys, but he didn't like getting down with guys. Do you know that men need diapers after having gay sex for a while? I'm actually not surprised. I would absolutely think that that's what has to happen, because at some point you done bust your booty muscles all out of whack, and there's no way you can hold that poo in. I'm so sorry. There's no way you can hold it. No way. So I and again, are is that if they're going to sit here and teach this stuff in school, which I do not think that they should, but if you're going to sit here and teach this stuff in school, that's the type of information that needs to be said. This is what you got to do in this lifestyle. Most men end up needing a diaper after a while. You're probably going to have to end up on some type of medication in order to suppress whatever pathogens might come into your body, because you have torn your ligament muscles in your butt so much that disease and stuff can just seep in. And I'm not trying to be disgusting. It's a disgusting act. I'm not trying to be disgusting. I'm being for real. They have to teach them about that stuff too, if they're going to do it. Women too. Yeah, women too. If they do it in the exit only hole, exactly. Do y'all remember, and y'all might not have watched it because I was watching Ratchet TV back then, but there was an episode of Flav. What's that? What was Flavor Flav show called? We had the dating show, Flav and Love. So whatever it was called, y'all. And that girl was standing in a circle, and then the poop just came out and landed on the floor. How does that happen unless you ain't got no more booty muscles? Absolutely no way. Gay sex is the LGBT normalizing getting raped. I don't know, y'all. Oh yeah, and it's idol worship, sure is. The goddess was a Japanese lord too. If you looked in its eyes, your soul leaves your body, or something. Ooh. Like, why would you want to be? Why would you want to interact with a creature like that? Y'all are really praying to a creature and going down underground to visit this creature that what? Yeah, I'm with you, Katie the Great. Like, what? Wait, what? The CDC released numbers saying 60K confirmed sexual offenders were released into the country in 1 year. What? So what? Uh, Released from where and what? I'm sorry. That's making my head hurt. Yeah, Sonia. That's the end goal for Satan to normalize sex with children. It's not about male or male on male or lesbians. It's about corrupting the innocent and the pure. Oh yeah, I can see that too. Especially just how we were talking about the Talmud earlier, and the Talmud pretty much says that you can have um, sex with underage girls. I'm pretty sure boys too, but they were mentioning girls. And that's what, excuse me, that's what the elites follow after, the Talmud. You said Epiphany being a gamer just made my world stop for a split second. That's crazy. I thought I told y'all that before. I could have sworn I said that. Yeah, I'm definitely a gamer. I think I still know the codes too. ABAC, ABB. I think I remember the codes to Aladdin. I think I remember some cheat codes to a lot of games. They made SpongeBob gay too, did they? Oh my goodness. Wouldn't nobody be here if everybody was gay? Wasn't it Forky? Who's Forky? Oh. I think it was, yeah, I think it was Buzz. I want to say it was Buzz. He said SpongeBob is asexual, but still, what's the point? Exactly. What is the point? I mean, I think children need to have information, especially about sexual body parts and things like that. I think that they need to know the real names of them. I think they need to know what they are. I think they need to know the no-nos surrounding it. I think they need to know all that kind of stuff, but not in the way that they're teaching it. And they say they aren't after children. They're lying. They have a whole song about it. Edelston, hey there. How are you doing there? He said I fell asleep. Oh man. Naps are good. Naps are good. No, it's in my DNA to procreate, which makes me straight. Yeah, I know. but I don't know. It's just the argument that they've made. Being a heterosexual today is seen worse than being a murderer. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Epiphany, that's my next topic. Every gay person had to think themselves gay. No straight person had to think themselves straight. True. True. I thought it just, I mean, you can speak from our fallen nature, but other than that, I can't see the whole, I don't understand the whole born gay argument. Because then I have to accept the fact that, okay, yeah, we're in a fallen nature, but that some people are then chosen to be to have that particular proclivity. And I just don't know, because then you have to say that about all kinds of things. You have to say that about, oh well, the pedos are just born that way, or the murderers are just born that way, or the thieves are just born that way. It's like, okay, so then do you just let them off the hook because they're born that way? And to me, that's a slippery slope. Something in general, generational curses or in your bloodline. So I do believe someone can be born and grow up with attraction towards the same sex. Um, again, could be true. Could be true. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes true. Say Imodium manufacturers are probably most excited about men needing diapers. I don't know if I know. Um, Sorry, I had to look up what that was. Oh, Imodium worked by slowing down the movement of the intestines. Ugh, I can't. I can't. I cannot. I gotta skip. That's disgusting. I don't know what y'all are commenting to. Yes, it just popped. It just plopped out. He said, "Jesus, save me, Lord." No, for real. And all the girls were standing around and just looking like, whose poop is that? It was so disgusting. Exactly, Cam the King. Humans are disgusting. But heck, I learned that in college. I ain't gonna lie. I learned just how disgusting people were. And I was like, wait, do y'all do this in y'all's house? Is this what you do? Yeah, mankind has been perverted. I see why God flooded this thing before. Oh, yeah, absolutely see why. People are so mad about it. They're mad about it. They call him a genocidal maniac and all that kind of stuff. But I would have got rid of them folks too. I'm surprised he's let this foolishness go on as long as it has. As long as it has. Never mind, I agree with Thanos. For real. We are located living in the days of Noah again, the signs of the end times. Yeah. And they mock us for saying that because people have been saying that for at least 2,000 years, but still don't make it not true. You said, wait, do we all have a PlayStation? I don't personally own a PlayStation. I never got into PlayStations. Uh, like I've played them, yes, but didn't loving them enough to own them. But I can get my hands on one though. You still let's get it on. My PS5 broke. I gotta buy another. Yeah. Currently, PC sold my PlayStation 4 and a while ago. Never got the PS5. I'm gonna wait till like number 6. Yeah. Got a PS4. You said plantation, but we knew what you meant. It just sounds like it's about to take off, though. Anyone play Marvel Rivals? I'm gonna start that. Not lately. Not lately. I have not. Start downloading that. Dang, I am a Black Ops fan. Me too. I'm definitely a Black Ops fan. And I'll be honest, I really like the waves. Like the game itself is cool, but I really like the waves. I can play that for hours. Zombies. We've been in the end times since Christ rose from the dead. Now we have to wait on things to fully get to the days of Noah for his return. Yeah. Yep. The cup of indignation to be full. But heck, I'm like, if it's bad now, just imagine what the days are going to be like when he has to return. Oof. Getting sticky. When I buy a new PS5, we'll be back on Black Ops 6. I'm an OG Black Ops fan. I stopped after Black Ops 4. Next year, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. I'm a sweat on multiplayer and zombie low key. Yeah. Got to get a new system for GTA 6 stops. Yeah, honestly, I need a new PC because I have some PC games that are missing me right now. Delayed until 2026. Dang. The Bible even says that people will mock us about the end times too. And that's okay. They can go ahead and mock. But we see the horizon. We see everything coming to fruition. And that's always my question to people when say, Bible's a fairy tale. Okay, if it's a fairy tale, why is everything coming true as it was written? Please answer. Xbox games will cost $80. Nintendo will cost like $90. Everyone rise their prices. This is insane. Yeah. But they know that people are going to still, buy it. Because I don't remember games being that much cheaper when I was younger. I mean, we were still paying, $50 or so for a game. And I feel like Xbox has always been pricey. Edelson, the Discord has been up, but nobody really gets on it. I mean, it's there, but nobody really gets on it. And to me, I feel like you can get the same. There's nothing. I mean, you can get on there. It's up. Yes. The question is yes. I mean, the answer is yes. But yeah, people don't really post on there. And now I looked on there not too long ago to see if there was any difference between what I could post on there and what I could post on the Patreon. And I didn't really see too much. I think I can maybe do video notes. I mean, not video notes, but audio notes. But other than that, not too much. But for sure, if you go on there, I mean, there's some people. What's so funny is that somebody's on there right now about to play Marvel Rivals in 24 seconds, or he's been in combat for 24 seconds. That's funny. Too funny. So yeah, same name. You're more than welcome to get on there. I think we're living in the fig tree generation because of all the prophecy fulfilled in recent events. Israel became a nation again was a big one. Mm. So do you think that, I don't know, do you think that, what am I trying to ask? Do you think that the Antichrist is stirring right now? Like, do you think he's been born already? Do you think that maybe he's just laying until his time is come? Or what do you think is going on with that? Because I think it's going to all come out to a head after the mark of the beast, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it before? Does he show himself before? Or it might be right in the midst of it. Grand Theft Auto 6. I think, to be honest, I've never played Grand Theft Auto. Now that's not one of my games. Yeah, I've never played. Like maybe a couple minutes worth of it, but no, it was never my game. You said nah, video game prices are getting crazy. I haven't bought a video game in so long, but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just what we did, so we didn't even care about price back in the day. A bowl game is now what, almost $100? Really? Mm. He said, "What Epiphany? We're gonna have to box because you never said the Discord was up, or was I out of the loop?" No, it was asked a while ago, but the I've had the Discord since 2022, and there are a few people on it, but nobody really says anything. So that's why I don't even, yeah. So you're not out the loop, but I just don't use it. People don't use it. And I think that's, yeah, nope. I'm glad that you said that. I'm gonna circle back to the rest of the comments. But I remember somebody saying that too. They said it had gotten really weird for them on the Discord. And so I think I just was like, no, if that's what y'all are finding on the Discord, I won't revamp it. Especially with add-ons and stuff like that with the games. Yeah. You said I never used Discord. What's it about? It's just, from my knowledge, it's just another platform that you can get on, to converse with people. You can send videos and audio and show pictures and different things like that. So I was going to use it as like an underground for us, because we'd be talking about some heavy topics that YouTube likes to censor, and so did TikTok when I had it. So I was going to use it for that, but I've just been using Patreon, so I hadn't really got onto the Discord in a while. So yeah. Want to say, is it unfiltered? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those other platforms besides YouTube and stuff is where I put my unedited information. That's where I give the real receipts over there, because they did not like me posting that stuff on TikTok. I got shut down real quick. The Antichrist could be born. Yeah, I'm thinking like, how much time do we have? A child, maybe? Ooh. You said KD Discord is kind of gay. A lot of sus stuff goes on there. I deactivated mine. You got to be careful about some of the places you go on. There's some real toxic areas there. Yeah, and see, when y'all told me that, that's why I kind of stayed away. I don't want to end up on the wrong side of Discord. Yeah, I'm not a fan of social media because of stuff like that. I only got YouTube. Yeah. He says, same here, no Facebook or anything like that. Mm-hmm. The Zesties. Wait, Edelson, you said Discord is a scary place? Dang, what did y'all see on there? Dang. I'm glad I didn't get on there heavy. Yeah, I deactivated and deleted all my socials except for YouTube. Think PlayStation Party, but on your phone, that's Discord essentially. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm seeing people playing video games right now. A group party. I think it'll be better on Twitch. That's another thing I use heavily censored though, but I'll get on any platform where we can talk freely. I just started a Twitch probably a couple months ago, but I haven't quite used it. But I think that might be another place where I start streaming off of. But I don't know. I may or may not. I may or may not. See, I didn't think that Twitch would be heavily censored. I didn't think so, but they're getting to all these platforms. And even people thought that X wasn't going to be censored, but it for sure is. Especially if it's anything to do with Elon, he's going to make sure. Wait, you can get banned on Twitch for simply saying tranny? Why do I have a feeling that you did that, or you know somebody who did that and got kicked off? Y'all are so funny. Another platform is Rumble. I don't think it's censorship there. Yeah, the only issue with Rumble, I'm on Rumble as well, but their videos don't upload for real. It takes days to even upload stuff. And I just got sick of waiting for that. No, most definitely the internet is filled with questionable characters. Yep. We have we have at max 17 years, all these weird rituals align with the aliens being introduced by 2030. Yeah, I definitely think they're gearing up. I saw an IG post today that were talking about the beams that were being seen in the sky, and I told y'all I just saw the other day a NASA truck drive past me, and they had light beams in the truck. So I feel like they're definitely getting set up. Yeah, sounds like Discord's not worth it like Twitter X. Yeah, no. Like I keep certain platforms because I've had them for a while, but I try not to find myself at the weird spots. Twitter is just another porn site. Thankfully, I don't have no nakedness come up on mine. It's a bad place for conservatives. Yeah, it might not be a safe place to get on those gaming sites and stuff like that. Probably not so much because those people don't mind. They like swatting people. And I don't know if y'all know what swatting is, but they do it a lot to gamers. They'll call the FBI or the SWAT team or whatever and say, you have somebody hidden in your basement or something's going on at your home. And then next thing you know, SWAT is at your door kicking it in. Some streamers have gotten killed like that. So yeah, maybe not. Maybe not a good place. It's a bad place for pure minds or anybody trying to be abstinent on Twitch. What the heck is going on over there? It's hard to be abstinent. Yes, I don't know what's going on with Rumble, but yeah, I just got sick of it. You said now why I gotta be me? No, it wasn't a creator called Soul Illuminati who joined Twitch, and within a day he got banned for 10. That's not funny, but it's funny because it's just the simplest things. Because that's what they used to be called back in the day, and nobody got offended. I hope we have less time. I think the world's only getting worse daily. Yeah, I don't know how much time we have, y'all. I don't know how much. Welcome to America, the land of the free and free speech. Just don't say the wrong thing or you'll get canceled and silenced or killed. Yep. Yeah, I know it. They changed so many definitions. Yeah, they have. They have. They have to though. They have to. The word created everything, so they have to distort the word to confuse us. Oh, that's so sad. You said he was so innocent and said, I didn't know that was illegal to say. Dang, let that man say what he wants to say. Land of the free, where you pay for everything. Yeah. That's where we are. That's where we are. Well, y'all, wait, what? Well, it's 10:30, y'all. I'm gonna read this last little post, right? Because Donald Trump Jr. is trolling the Bidens right now. He says, what I want to know is how did Dr. Jill Biden miss stage 5 metastatic cancer, or is it yet another cover up? Crazy Dollar Alert response, crazy thought, but maybe Dr. Jill Biden missed the diagnosis because her doctorate is in education, not oncology. She's more equipped to grade essays than read MRIs. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I agree with Baller Alert because if she's not a cancer doctor, well, pretty much the Trump Jr. is trying to talk down on Jill Biden or the Bidens, period. Say because remember, Jill Biden is supposed to be a doctor. We're supposed to be calling her Dr. Jill Biden, and everybody wants to know, well, what the heck is her doctorate in? What is she a doctor of? And so they're making fun, saying, okay, this man is in stage 5 cancer, but yet the whole doctor that he lives with, that he's married to, didn't catch it. So the baller alert is the blog, and they're coming to the defense of the Bidens because they're paid to do so. Yeah. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I guess we're gonna see what happens. Said I got a new laptop, cost me a band's boomer translation $1,000, but I'm gonna take this content creation serious. You're so funny. No, good. Yeah, I agree with KD, the Rugrat. Stay consistent. Um, yeah, that's really all you got to do. I mean, life be lifing. But I would just say make sure, do things on the time that you want to do them, because that's how a lot of people get burnt out. That's how a lot of people get burnt out with what they're doing. So don't forget to take time for yourself, take time for your family. You said cover blank of a song. He said, y'all, you ain't warned me about the random hate messages. Oh, yeah, those are they definitely come with the territory. The trolls definitely come with the territory. But just, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they're definitely part. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like it's not a big deal, right? Because people can say some really harsh things if you let them, but it's definitely part of content creation. Yep. Thankfully, people don't come on my channel acting nasty for the most part, because then I would have to get them together real quick. I'll be trying to keep it cool. I try to keep it cool over here. So, but no, it'll come, but you just got to get them together. Let them know you can't do that over here. I made a video about Sinners being a trash movie and it caught wind quick. Whoa. Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like the sentiment that it was a demonic movie or that it was a blasphemous movie. I know they didn't like that. So I can imagine that anyone who posted a review stating that didn't get any love. But hey, I started posting every week since February. My channel be growing. Good. I don't know. She said she was gonna do it. She said she did a cover song earlier, but that she was gonna take it down. You never told us what the cover song was. We want to hear it. Whoa! You said I woke up. Someone called me a coon. Oh my! Said the hell I do to him. Yeah, they'll definitely come for you. They'll definitely come for you. That's funny because people be keyboard warriors for real. I wanted to watch it, but I heard it was just praising occultism. I mean, that's what I heard, but again, I heard it from you guys. I haven't I had no plans on watching it. I had no plans on watching it. So y'all let me know. You said, oh, it's a Mariah the Scientist song, the new one, Burning Blue. Okay. You want to hear it. We're going to check it out. Cool. And then once you post that, we'll get on off of here. I know that it's getting late. I looked at the comments on the trailer of it, and everyone was talking about how they're glad it shows the positive side of connecting with their ancestors and more BS. Oh. Maybe that's why. Will it let you put a link in the chat? Or just tell us your name and we'll look it up. Oh, sorry, I lost your train of thought. Yeah, I saw a pastor speaking about how Christians shouldn't be speaking to their ancestors, and I wasn't sure if he was speaking about the movie or just in general. So that makes sense. That makes sense that he would have to put out that disclaimer about speaking to your ancestors. Yeah. It's under the name in the chat. The movie mocks Christianity but masks it under racial commentary as it being the white man's religion and makes the protagonist ancestor worshipping root working witches. Okay. And see, all that makes perfect sense because that's how they're going to discredit Christianity amongst Black people. That's how they have discredited Christianity amongst Black people, calling it the white man's religion and speaking about how their ancestors used to worship a different God and how that God was taken away from them and made to worship Jesus. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, connecting with your ancestors and conjuring demons sounds a lot alike. I don't see what the difference is. And I bet you they can't tell you what the difference is either. Okay, so I have cool. Let me subscribe to that. And then let me get your TikTok. I mean, not your TikTok. Let me get your name down before we go so we can check this out. KOKVT. Got it. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you guys are doing things and things we can check out and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome. Okay, last few comments. People are getting tricked. Yes, they are. But I think in a sense people want to be tricked. They want to be tricked. The movie weaponizes the historical Black trauma that occurred during Jim Crow as emotional manipulation, as to have its viewers automatically root for the evil protagonist via Hegelian dialectic. Oh my goodness. And they're going to keep bringing that up because they know that is going to be a soft spot forever. So they keep on playing with that emotion, and then they can control you with it. It's so sad. But as long as we have our eyes open, that's all that matters. You said, thanks, y'all, and be honest. Am I good or no? Okay, cool. We will let you know. Anybody else? So I already knew someone called me a coon because he himself bit the bait the movie offered, so he didn't understand the truth. Yep. That's how it always happens, right? they call you the name that they really are. I've noticed that as well. So I don't know, y'all, but I've been bumping my gums for almost 4 hours now. I know people got to get up in the morning. So as always, thank you so much for coming out, having a conversation with me. Thank you for each and every person that shows up here. Whether or not you say something or not, it doesn't even matter. I appreciate you all the same. We're gonna find out what happens next week. Let's see what happens in the news, and we'll talk about that next week. In the meantime, in between time, y'all stay good. Talk to you soon. Bye.